once again to Resist, episode 6. How's everybody feeling? How's everybody doing? You guys come back as champions from last session. Or champions?
It was easy, man. I just snuck over to the thing, put the ball in. We won it all.
You did win, not at all, but at least it. And yeah, you guys had talked about some potential new strategies, drugging it up a little bit, possibly.
Yep. Yeah, I had one of these drugs ready for it. Which one was that I had? Oh wait, never mind. I just have the temporary hit points drug. That wouldn't help.
That would not help. That occurs on another day. In between there, you all, with the victory in your game, can head home for the evening. Proud of your victory and accomplishment. Dragomir lets you know that this at least does get you some extra EC for your successful victory. Not a lot, but that'll give you a little bit of a helping hand for going forward.
And do champions get free drinks?
Champions get free drinks. Round 1 winners do not get free drinks. But with a lot of pride in yourselves, you can get the hay. Let's talk about the next morning. That's the wrong one. I find the right one. Valerio. On the evening that you and Lynn go back to the De Cruz estate, the family is very adamant on this night that you are not allowed to stay. And this feels kind of annoying because the swap for you was very, very abrupt. At one point, they were embracing you, treating you like family. They had basically accepted you as one of their own. And then your birthday came, and they celebrated it. And from there on out, it just seemed like they didn't want you around, didn't care to have you there. But as Lynn's birthday came around, it wasn't the same. They weren't pushing her to leave. If anything, they almost wanted her to stay. That evening, you're rejected and forced to find a place to rest on your own for the evening. As you've had to do a number of times now, but not exactly your favorite moments, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
When you come back in the morning, though, to pick her up, the guards still let you in towards the footmen still let you in towards the front door. And as you enter, her parents are standing there with Lynn nowhere in sight. There you are, young man.
Where's Lynn?
Oh, you won't be seeing her anymore.
I'm sorry, what?
Do you remember the other night when you all came in late?
Mm-hmm.
Did you think that if when you arrived so late in the evening, we wouldn't ask questions or take matters into our own hands?
Lynn's a grown woman. She can stay up past 10 o'clock. It shouldn't be an issue.
She may be a grown woman, but she is a grown woman that has her parents caring for her needs. And as a grown woman, she has certain responsibilities. Responsibilities to our name. Responsibilities which she forsook, apparently, when she started hanging around with riffraff like you. Do you know that the following morning, we were so worried about her and her being out so late. She slept for so long. We brought in a friend of ours, who's licensed for some very, very low-level detection spells. It was quite a bit of coin for us to bring him in. Did you know she had toxins in her?
What?
Yes. Do you know anything
Impossible.
about this, Valerio?
No, I do not. She never had any toxins. What are you talking about?
Strange. Father said she did. The father said she did. And he wouldn't lie to us. He had no reason to.
Where is she? Let me see her.
Oh no, that we can't do. We don't need you drugging her up any further. You're planting these things in her head, bringing her around to these places, making her live some sort of fantasy life by keeping her on these things.
These are lies. I've never done such things.
Prove it then. Turn yourself into the assessors and have them evaluate you, and you can come back with an evaluation slip.
I don't think that's necessary.
But you could just go there and say that a Cruz family just wants you to do a regular check-in. I'm sure everything will work out fine for you.
Unfortunately, I must decline.
I assumed so. Well, so long as you decline, you're not welcome here. We helped you get on your feet, and so far, you've done nothing with that aid. We spent a lot of money on you. Feeding you, clothing you, giving you a better education than you would have otherwise had. All because you convinced Lynn that you would be a better person than the rest of them. And look at you, you're just like every other one of your kind.
Other kind? What do you mean by that?
None of you have made it anywhere. You're like mutts of the worst kind.
I know it would be like a death sentence if I attacked this guy, but you're making this very difficult.
I know. You've come in here with your poisonous rhetoric and ideas, trying to ruin what works. You get to live for free already. You don't want to be better? You don't have to be better. But you won't be making things worse here. Now, I'm going to ask you to leave, or I'm going to call the guards over. And I'm going to let the guards know that they should bring you directly to an assessor for an examination.
I suppose you won't even let me say bye to her.
Write her a letter, if you even know how to do that.
I'll clench my fists and restrain myself. And I'll leave.
Do you want to close the door, or do you let them close the door?
I mean, I'll slam it if I can. Like, I'll...
Okay. The footman gives you your space as you make your way.
We need a strength check.
property.
Did that thing fall off the hinges?
That would actually be the worst thing that could happen to him.
But yeah, I assume the guard like tries to like almost want to escort me, and I'll just like growl at him.
No, he just keeps his
Okay.
space, like letting you go. He's seen you before at your worst, and doesn't want to get in the way. He's seen you on frustrated days.
Yeah, given to more of my animal tendencies. and huff and puff off.
That morning as well, Tessara, you awaken as usual. Come downstairs, and Laska is seated at the table as usual with his small plate of gray edible material. And he seems to be looking over a letter that's laid down next to him. Oh, you're up. Would you like anything? I can get you something.
No, I'm fine. Is everything okay?
We've had a bit of a complication here. This Lynn character, her family had someone drop something off.
Oh?
Supposedly, they're worried that we're doing some sort of drug-related research or something. They've asked that we strike her from whatever project we're working on.
Lovely.
Yeah. That was our chance. We have to...
I mean, did we really need her?
We need someone who can sell this, who can get the people who can afford to buy it to buy it.
Well, she can't be the only one in this entire city that can influence people to buy something.
You're particularly good at doing your homework. Do you think you can find someone?
I'm sure I can find at least another candidate that we can attempt to speak with. Give me a day or two, and I should be able to come up with something.
I have faith.
You know I won't let our business go under. I'll figure out whatever we need to do.
You haven't so far. One day, this will be better. I know I promise it a lot, but this will be like it was.
It'll be like it was for you. It'll never quite be the same for me, but that's okay.
Okay, Hazel. He goes back to eating his mush. Dracus, you awaken on a day like most others. Still probably with a bit of the feeling of victory in you. Success and recognition. You're a game winner, a champion.
Like the good old days.
Yeah. You have a little bit of work today to do. There's a couple of spots that they want specifically to clean out, a couple of problematic creatures that have been breaching the wall in a place they've been working on for a little while to reinforce. Nothing too major. Simple, small desert creatures. The usual. You can easily clear things up in just a few hours. One of your partners, though, that you work with on these jobs comes up to you a little after things are cleaning up. Hey, you did that thing yesterday, right? The games, right? That was you?
Yeah, that was me. We did it.
That was an impressive feat. You around there a lot? I don't always happen to see you there.
Not really a lot, but every now and then.
Next time you're in, let me know. I'll buy you a drink.
Oh, for sure. Sounds good. Always take some more ale.
just want to know, though. I noticed the other day you were cleaning up the carcasses. That's normally containment's job. They got you doing double duty here?
You know, we all gotta pull our keep, you know?
Give me a bluff.
Yeah. Come on, bluff.
Oh.
That
All
is
right.
not a bluff.
Whatever you say. If you wanna do some due diligence to help them out, I guess I can understand that.
How about yourself? Have you been doing your due diligence too?
Man, I always try to keep my nose above water. It's all you can
Yeah.
do these days.
Exactly.
But the rent's always paid, always food on the table, always got a shirt on my back. System works if you let it.
For sure, for sure.
Well, I guess I'll see you later. See you around.
What's his name?
His name is sometimes when I do notes, it's the names I forget the most. His name is Rowan. Should I put that here? Rowan's been working on this assignment for almost as long as you. You started a little before Rowan did on this. He came from a similar department. He was doing a lot of work on the wall, but he found that it wasn't quite what he was good at. He would slip up and make a few mistakes too often. And here you've seen, like, he's definitely not as skilled as you are in taking things down, but he still has some reasonable measure of skill. It looks like this is probably more in line with his skill set than masonry is. But yeah, you can give me a sense motive as you conclude that conversation.
Sense motive.
Gauge.
Oh, wait,
I'm sorry, Gauge.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. Yeah.
Okay, all seems well.
This is making up for all those great rolls the other couple of days.
Mm-hmm. Gray Bloom. You've been on a very, very specific assignment. This morning, as you wake up, you're given your assignment pretty early. There is a letter that has been delivered to your room. The letter talks about how you have a quadrant that you're going to be cleaning, that they're asking you to do, and it's near an establishment where they believe the Noquel is stored, and what they want you to do is watch specifically for a cart that's going to be going in and out of that location, and most specifically try to get a description of anyone driving the cart or like in and around the cart as it arrives at this place.
So what like this cart is gonna be obvious, like it's marked in some way, or
the cart itself has an actual it has signage on the side of it, in Draconic, etched in why can't I remember the name of it? The 0th level spell, Arcane Marks.
all right. And it said specifically watch how many people were in the cart?
No, try to get some description of anyone in or around the cart.
Okay. Okay, and then there was a specific building.
Yeah, they give you the building within that quadrant where you're cleaning.
All I care about is the cart, though.
All you
I
care
don't-
about
I
is the
don't-
cart. They already know the security of the building. They're most concerned with like who's driving the cart.
Okay.
What I basically just need from you here is a stealth check.
Right, and like I mean, I get rid of the letter. I don't know how I normally do it, like
Yep,
burn it or
you usually burn
dissolve an asset or something.
It's usually a burn the letter.
Okay. Yeah, so I'll get rid of the letter.
Yep. And then throw me up a stealth check.
All right. Let me
Which
just
not a
double
bad
check.
seed.
Okay, my armor is not on.
Excellent, very good. Me.
They
do a
better
couple
not
of
spot
things.
me.
Gonna be hard, that's for damn sure. Okay. So yeah, you're scoping out the area. And give me a perception check. Actually, I'm sorry. Give me 2 more perception checks because it's a total of 3. Okay. So you see the cart go by just as around the time that they kind of expect it to be going by. They tell you to keep your eyes peeled about a certain time. You see the cart move into range. You see the sign on the cart. And you look to the driver of the cart. And it's hard to see like anything about the driver. But as the cart starts to pass, you notice somebody like look up from the back of the cart and kind of look around. But the thing that like strikes you the most is they're all wearing face coverings. They all have coverings that like are fully disguising the features of their face, making them look sort of completely anonymous. And they're all wearing like almost sort of baggy style clothing. And the one in the back, somebody like from the building comes out and walks around the cart. And the one in the back reaches into a pocket and pulls out a medallion. The man walking about the cart looks over the medallion, moves a medallion of his own over the top of it. Nods, and then the first man puts the medallion away. And then he walks to the other side of the cart. And then you can't really see too much of what transpires there.
Right, and sizes, did they seem to be humans or smaller races? Or
The clothes make it a little hard to tell. Nobody looks to be a smaller race. They all look to be at least medium size.
All right, and so like. Okay, and I only saw the 2 people total.
You only saw 2 people. You assume there's probably a third because the guy stops on the other side for a little bit and then walks around the front of the cart and then goes back to his post.
Okay.
And then waves them through.
And what color were these baggy clothing?
So the outfits look sort of like they are. They have brown coats on, with patches on the left and right arm, that have like a little, a couple of like arcane marks on them. Their breeches are also brown, but the masks that they wear are gray. And they cover both. They're like fully pulling over like a ski mask, but without holes cut into the front.
Okay, so like a fencing mask, more.
Yeah, more like a fencing mask.
Okay. All right. Okay, and so they took the medallion. You said he placed it over the other medallion?
Yeah, he took a medallion and ran it over the top of the other medallion.
Okay. And that was the driver who ran his...
No, that was the guy from the building that ran his medallion over the other guy's medallion.
Okay, so the driver didn't have a medallion. It was the guy in the back, and then a guy in the building.
You assume the driver might have. You couldn't get a good look on what was going on at the front. So effectively, DC on this was 20, and you fell short of the DC for the front for the driver, but you got the DC for the guy in the back. So you didn't really see what transpired between the guard and the guy up front, nor did you see what happened between the guy on the other side and the driver, if there was a guy on the other side.
Okay, and so it was a person from the building who came out to
they were wearing a different outfit. They were wearing the same outfit that most of them are wearing, which is kind of like this. They have a blue like jumpsuit that they're wearing, with a blue hat on, and they have no mask. The people that work the person at the front gate does not have a mask.
All right. And okay, so the cart, it was covered or open or?
The cart was covered.
Okay.
The guy in the back actually physically has to like lower down a ramp that they have and come out to display his medallion.
Okay. And I didn't hear them call out to the building. That guy just was watching?
Yeah, the guy was just watching. Once the cart comes up, they interact with him.
Alright, I think that's probably all I'm gonna be able to learn.
Cool. Alright. So, you guys know you have your match coming up in a few days' time. In the interim, is there any particular stuff that each of you wants to get done?
Practicing. I need them free championship drinks.
I'll do the research for Laska.
Okay. Yeah, you can give me some knowledge local.
Yes. Knowledge local.
Yeah, so with a 23, one of the things you'll keep running into is you're kind of looking through some of the archives of notorious people who are either good public figureheads or speakers or have some sort of public presence, is that a lot of these people seem to be snatched up pretty quickly. So it can be a really difficult thing to just walk up to somebody that has a name for themselves and get a hold of them, which is probably what pushed Laska toward Lynn. Lynn was basically just young enough that no one would have scooped her up as a talent. And being able to acquire her would kind of put him on a much greater peg. But what you know that you're looking for here, though, as you're looking at this, is you are looking for somebody who's young or newish to the game, and somebody who has sort of a gift for gab. You can find a lot of details about good techniques for salesmanship, and this will sort of help you evaluate who it is that you're looking for what Laska needs. Valerio, at any point before the next round, do you go back to Cresthaven Hall?
Oh, muted. I don't think I have anywhere else to really go, so I think I am just hanging out there, spending a few EC coins on some drinks and stuff.
Okay. If you're there for a while, Dragomir will eventually make his way up to you. Is everything all right? Don't you normally have a friend with you?
I guess you should be made aware of that, shouldn't you, huh?
Of what?
I don't think she's gonna be coming around here anymore. I'll take a deep drink of whatever I have in front of me.
What do you mean? She wasn't picked up, was she?
No. Just her parents. I don't think they're gonna let her come out and play with us anymore.
We had some worry about that. She does have parents who are very business-minded. Many of them really do tend to stick too strongly to their business interests. They don't want people playing games when business could be done.
What does that mean for our team?
Well,
are we disqualified, or can we still compete?
No, unfortunately, you have to have a team of 5. But perhaps this is somewhat fortuitous. We've cracked the information about your next game and some strategies that you could use for it. So perhaps we consider this a loss, but you can find a new teammate and prepare for the games to come. There are plenty of people always ready to play the game. Mentioning it, though, we do have a candidate that has shown potential value. But it would be up to you to evaluate their performance and their skills and see if they would work well in your game, in your team.
I think it would have to be a team decision. I don't think I could solely decide.
Of course. I would never want somebody to make a choice of their own, on their own, without their team being a part of it. But I figured I should let you know in case you see them before I do. And I'll tell you what. It's probably been a rough time for you. Drinks are on me.
No. Thank you.
And if you need a place to stay, let me know. I have a place. I can keep you.
Where?
We have a storage house that we have. There's a few places you can rest there without anybody asking any questions or giving any hassle.
Well, it's better than the alleyways. I'll take you up on it.
It's there whenever you need it. Only one slight asterisk that comes with that, and that is if anyone comes in and somebody tells you they're not supposed to be there, somebody that you know works within the storage house, you're to help defend it. We don't want anybody taking anything, but we've never really had an issue with that happening.
Shouldn't be a problem.
You're a good man, Valerio. Even if the rest of the world might not understand.
Just keep drinking.
So yeah. Grey Bloom. You'll shortly after that get the news when you get back with the information that you're bringing back to Valerio, or not to Valerio, to Dragomir. You'll get the news about Lynn no longer being a part of the group.
Oh man, and I was working on this amazing new move, the Kitten Chewer. I named it after myself because it's...
I've noticed you do a lot of naming things after yourself. I understand you want to rebuild your family's legacy, but I think you should do it in the same style, not keep trying to branch out into things.
Telling you, this move, it would have worked.
Well, perhaps there is an opportunity to still perform it. Well, you might not be in this game. There are always games to come. And we have someone who might be able to help fill your loss of player. We have a new and upcoming talent that might fit the needs that your team is looking for.
All right.
But I'm going to leave it to you and the other 3 members of your team to make that decision. If you could locate them and let them know.
Sounds good.
Thank you. I've already told Valerio, so you just need to find Tessara and Dracus, and we'll have him here for you when you get back.
All looking.
Yep. Won't take you too long to find Dracus. Dracus, you're pretty much a man of pattern, right?
Yeah.
Do your job.
Also,
Go ahead.
I probably would go there every other day or so
Okay.
when I'm just looking, hoping to run into somebody for something to do.
Well, this would have been your off day because you were there yesterday.
Okay.
But Grey Bloom will find you anyway. Most likely when you're on your way back home, he'll sort of be there waiting for you.
Should I roll for my addiction?
Yes, actually. I forgot about that for the day.
That's Fort, right?
That is Fort.
Damn.
All right.
Come on, man.
That is. Hold on, I gotta pull it up. Let's forget how.
Come on. 3-1-3.
Yep, it's been a
This is not a great day
bad
so
series.
far. This is not a great day.
Yeah, so that will apply another -2 penalty to your con.
Another to the con.
Yep.
Womp womp.
You're gonna die from your addiction, man.
No,
Apparently.
it's penalties, so you don't die from it. It's not actual
Okay.
ability damage.
That's good.
But he does basically end up in a point where he'll be comatose until he recovers.
Would that adjust my hit points as well? Because it doesn't auto do it.
It theoretically should. It's annoying that it
No,
doesn't.
hit points will not be adjusted if you change your con.
I hate that.
I'm just
They're-
putting
they're
a
independent,
temporary
yeah.
Okay.
-4.
Just gotta track it.
That's fine. Just keep in mind then you're short 8 hit points. Or
Oh.
4 hit points, rather. But yeah, Grey Bloom is waiting there at your home.
Oh. Hey, how's it going? Is it time for our next game?
No, unfortunately, we had to forfeit.
Forfeit?
I'd been practicing this new move. Yeah, something happened with Lynn, so her like. Well, I mean, what did he say? Just like her parents wouldn't let her
Yeah.
come anymore. Okay, yeah, her parents wouldn't let her come anymore.
How old was Lynn? She seemed old enough to make her own choices.
Yeah, I don't know.
I guess that's what it's like when you're relying on someone else. I haven't had that problem for quite a while.
Sadly,
so what are
me
we gonna
too.
do now?
Well, there's somebody who's come recommended for a potential to potentially join the team with us.
Oh, well, that's the good news.
So yeah, we'll check them out, see if they're up to the job of becoming champions.
Yeah, I didn't really expect to win that match. I spent a lot of time on my back. I gave as well as I got. You were really the MVP. You did a great job.
Yep, just disappeared and reappeared right next to that the hoop or basket or whatever it was. Threw the
Just
ball.
got to do that a bunch more times. So are we meeting everybody else, or what's the plan?
Yeah, we'll meet up there, check out this new person.
As we start walking back, I'm like, so kittens, are they very delicious?
If they're raised right, yeah, very delicious. Just, man, you can't imagine how tender the new the kitten meat is. Delicious.
Really? While I'm eating?
Gonna have to try it one of these days. Let me know when you get a new batch in. I'll give it a go.
Compared to what Laska is trying to sell, Kitten actually sounds pretty good. But yeah,
You gotta make sure they don't develop any muscle.
You just have to chain them down.
Yep.
But you can find your way over to Laska's wait a little bit for Tessara to return. But yeah, when you get back, Tessara, Greybloom and Drekis will be waiting outside the door.
What are you guys doing here?
Yeah, so looks like we have to forfeit the game.
Let me guess. Lynn?
Yeah, Lynn's parents won't
Yeah,
let
they're
her
not
come out
letting
with the
her.
team anymore.
They're not letting her partake in Laska's business either, so that's
Oh.
out.
Yep. So yeah, there's a potential new member for us to go check out.
All right. Well, I don't think I have anything else to do today, so let's go.
Sounds good.
The three of you can make your way back to Cresthaven Hall. So, while you're journeying back, Bobbin, let's chat.
Yes.
So, in the country, or in the city that you reside in of Halram, things here have been progressively getting... The wealth has been progressively sort of splitting pretty widely. The rich and wealthy are incredibly wealthy and have no need for anything. And, well, the poor don't have need for anything that anyone sees. Sometimes when people start to seem like they have needs, they just stop being a part of society. They're just no longer around anymore. No one dies, no one really gets sick. People just kind of move on to other things, you guess. Or move to another part of town.
They go to a farm upstate.
Exactly. Over some time, there has been a bit of a uncomfortable situation between those without money and those who watch the streets and take care of things. And for somebody who is in a profession like I assume yours probably was before all the lockdowns started to happen, where people were no longer allowed to leave the city, all of the security protocols started to happen throughout the city. Your manner of being able to earn your keep started to become a lot more difficult. Guards started really cracking down on getting into places, lying, conniving. It's hard to make a living as a grifter type when grifting is very heavily frowned upon and is not supposed to exist.
Too bad. I like selling expensive items to people.
Whether or not they're yours?
Whether or not they're mine or they need them.
But you've noticed for a little while over the last couple of days that there have been some people that have been keeping an eye on you. Everywhere you go, you happen to notice like these street cleaners have had just seem to always be in the areas that you're at.
Is there any way I could try to shake the tail?
Yeah. Give me a stealth. Ooh.
Oh man.
You disappear easily. And give me a perception to see if you can notice that you've lost them. That's enough to notice that somebody is like kind of looking around for they start moving about the area a bit, and then they shrug, and suddenly they're done cleaning the street.
Can I try to like follow them sneakily?
Yeah. Give me another stealth. Let's see if you can get as good a check. Very nice. So yeah, you slip behind him. and eventually he makes his way in kind of this weird pattern around the city that doesn't seem like it makes a lot of sense, especially considering he ends up at this like gaming hall.
People could spend a lot of money here.
Can. And they do.
They do. I guess I'll check out this gaming hall.
Okay. You make your way inside, and are greeted almost immediately by a friendly face. Let me go ahead and switch up some music here. Welcome, good friend, to Cresthaven Hall. How are you today?
Swell.
Good. It's always nice to see new people here. What's your pleasure?
Like,
We have games, we have drink. A bit to eat, maybe?
Oh, man. Games. I could get lost in some games.
Games of chance, games of skill, games of thought. Which is your preference?
A game of chance is only a game of chance if you don't have the skill.
Well said.
So a game of chance.
He'll guide you over to an area where people are playing a number of card-style games. You can sit for a bit and give me a couple of bluff checks. You overall have a pretty reasonable time here. You have a seat, kind of test the waters with a few things. The way that this works is in Halron, regular gold and silver are no longer the exchange commodity. Everybody gets these coins called EC, or entertainment coins. They can be exchanged for entertainment things because things like food, things like clothing, and your living arrangement are all already taken care of. So this is like bonus that you would get to keep yourself going. But people who work menial salaries, they only get like 2, maybe 3 of these in a full 10-day week period. So you can end up with this not really stretching so far. So in these circumstances, what they do is you cash in one of your EC and exchange it for chips, and then you play until you've either lost your EC or won enough EC that you can cash out in an even increment. And you can hold on to your chips after that. It sort of creates a way to almost break your EC down into pieces.
Sure. It's like buying poker chips, essentially.
Essentially, yep. So you'll come out of it a little ahead on coin. And as you start coming out of it ahead, that person from the front entrance finds his way over to you. You're a man of great skill. Easily able to make people not know when you're being particularly dishonest. Or maybe disingenuous. Yes?
Oh, I'm never disingenuous. That's disingenuous.
I believe it to be. But you know, there's a place for people like you. A place for people who can sell facts in the way they need to be heard. Would you agree?
Yeah, I would agree.
We have these games, these much bigger games. They're a bit more challenging, but they do require some measure of skill and thought. Might I demonstrate one for you?
Oh, go ahead.
He'll lead you over to another part of the building where there's like sort of this course set up, and I'll give you a sample of what the course looks like. And essentially the goal of the game, as you watch people play it, is people are trying to take a ball that they start with on this side and score it in a container on the opposite side of the room.
Okay.
The team that can score the fastest wins the round and goes on to the next stage of the event. The game usually plays out pretty quick, and quite a few teams are competing. As he brings you over, he demonstrates some of the techniques they use, some of the techniques that require slipping around unnoticed, deceiving others into believing you're in a place you're not, or that the ball carrier is in a place that they're not. It is a game that does seem to require a bit of skill, a bit of thought, and a bit of luck.
All qualities that I hold in high regard.
What do you think? Does this seem like something that would interest you?
Ah, yes. This seems just about up my alley.
I thought it might. Walk with me, if you will.
I'll follow him.
He leads you back to the other side, but into a room, and the room has a lot of paintings in it. They refer to it as the gallery. You'll notice there's no one else in the room. As he leads you in, now, I believe lately you've been referring to yourself as Bobbin, was it?
That's my name.
It is currently your name, yes. But,
it's my name enough for you for right now.
Oh, I'm aware of who you are, and I'm aware of your skills. You did a good job losing that tail.
You gotta stay safe in this neighborhood.
You have to stay safe everywhere. They're always looking for a guy like you.
Who's looking?
The guards, the assessors, someone who makes a little bit of trouble here and there is something that they don't want, that they don't need.
I wouldn't want to make trouble. Visibly.
Yes, visibly. What if I told you, though, that I want you to make trouble?
Oh, what kind of trouble?
Big trouble. But I need no one to know that you've made big trouble.
Sure, we can come to an arrangement.
I would bet we can come to some arrangement, because unfortunately, this conversation needs to end in a good way, or I've put myself at too much risk to let you leave under normal circumstances.
Well, I'm already in too deep.
You were in too deep when you didn't leave when all the rest of the paranoid people did.
Well, good common sense is not one of my traits.
So we have noticed. A little too trusting you seem to be. It shouldn't have been so easy to get you here.
Oh?
Most other people, we have to run a bit of a test for them to make sure that they'll figure things out on their own and that they'll make a decision. They'll realize the risks and make the right choices based on the risks. You just walked right into the risk, following a strange man who simply seemed friendly enough for you?
I would say I'm a good judge of character.
I bet you would say that. Listen, your judge of character is not as important if you have the right people with you to judge other people's character. Would you agree to that?
It sounds logical.
What we're looking to do is we're looking to fix a problem here in Howlron. We would like to see things return to the splendor this city once was. And we think you can make a efficient and effective piece of that plan. We need people like you, people that can convince people that things aren't how they are. People who can get into places that you're not supposed to be. People that can stay hidden when they're supposed to be seen. You seem to have a talent in each of those things. And I think you could well suit some of our friends.
Well, I'd love to meet them.
Excellent. We've planned to have a few of them here today, specifically to meet you.
Ah. What fortuitous turn of events.
Things with us are never fortuitous. We make things happen when it's time to have things happen. If we didn't,
Let's have it happen.
well, come with me.
Should I follow him?
The four of you, well, I guess the three of you will probably arrive at Cresthaven Hall. Valerio is already there, and has downed what looks like quite a stack of drinks.
How you doing, buddy? I'm gonna pat him on the shoulder.
Huh? Oh, it's you guys. What do you want?
I heard about Lynn. Are you okay? I know you guys were close.
Ugh.
I mean, you don't just have to take this. We can try to find a way to break her out or sneak you in there or something, I guess.
You didn't think I already thought of that? If we mess up, there's more at stake than just my friend.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Hmm.
I mean, we've been training for this sort of thing. I'm sure we can make it happen.
I don't think it's worth the risk. Her parents or something else.
As the four of you are there at the counter, Dragomir will come out with a go ahead and describe Bobbin for the party.
Well, when I want to be, so I guess right now, I'm just a very fancy-looking character. I'm just an average. I don't know what the race looks like, so I can't really describe the race.
They're usually about human size.
All right, so then that.
And they mostly look humanoid, except for a few small features. They have a bit of a sort of a transparency to their eyes, like a almost translucence to their eyes. Their hair can basically be any color, and they have a bit of a soft fleckle, almost like there's bits of glitter that they tried to clean off and couldn't quite get all of it off. There's just a slight bit of that speckling in their appearance.
So they're twilight vampires in the sun.
No. Twilight vampires sparkle a lot in the sun.
True.
This is somebody who went to a strip club, got a bunch of glitter on them, took a shower, and there's still flecks that they find every day afterwards, and they're like, oh, I got another one of these stupid things.
Glitter gets everywhere. It's so coarse and never mind. Yeah, so just a very fancy looking character, kind of a very every step is kind of meaningful. And I like to kind of have like a very kind of gaudy persona. I guess that's the best I could do.
Yeah, and Dragomir will guide him over to the other four of you. So, I believe I found you all another teammate. I think he might suit your needs well. It's just sad you registered as the 5 before the unfortunate circumstances that befell your team for the game.
Yeah, we were gonna win the whole thing too. I know we were.
Perhaps.
Yeah, Greybloom had a really good plan. Yeah,
Yep.
I was looking forward to it.
I heard he called
I call it the kitten chewer.
Yes,
Well-
you do.
You'll certainly win now with me on your team.
Oh, goody, a cocky one.
Arrogance aside, I think he might be of good use. Your usual table is open if you'd like to discuss matters of what you think is necessary of someone in a replacement member for your team. It's up to you. This
We'll
does,
have a few.
this doesn't need to be done today, but would be good to do it soon, as there are always more games to come.
I'm gonna order a drink.
Okay. Yeah, one will arrive at the table for you. Is everybody else joining him, or
Yeah.
I don't know if Valerio can make it to the table, but
I need to roll something for
Yeah.
intoxication.
give me a dexterity check to move over there at a -4 penalty.
So just a dexterity roll.
Yep.
Ha!
Oh my god. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Valerio turns, stands up, and then takes the first step, putting his right foot forward, but puts all of his weight onto his right foot, and goes immediately face first onto the ground. Dragomir comes over and starts to help you up. And looks like he's doing it on his own, but does what he can. Perhaps giving you unlimited was not such a good idea.
No,
I just lost my footing. I'm fine.
Let me give you a hand at the very least.
imagine I could craft something to sober him up.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm sober. This place is just constructed not very well.
I definitely believe you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
He'll help guide you over to the table, and the 5 of you can sit and prepare for the interview of Bobbin after this short break. Back in a little bit.
All right.
it's
by the way.
going to have glitches like every other large open world RPG
Yep.
that has ever been made. And that's what people are complaining about, is the glitches and whatnot.
Yeah. It's a realization we missed out on, but right before the interview is as good a time as any. Zach, can I have you hit the hit points button right above your character? Perfect. So this automatically rolls it, the die roll plus your con modifier.
Mhm.
So yeah, so the way that we track these, by the way, and I'll kind of show this to you on your sheet. If you go to the configuration tab,
Yep.
there's a line where it says HP by level.
Yep.
If you push the little plus button there,
Yep.
you can set your first level to your max hit points plus your con modifier. So on the scroll up bar, set it to 1, and then put an 8 plus 2, because 2 is your con modifier.
Wait, on what?
So there's the first box, which has like
There's
a little
quantity?
Yeah. The quantity would be where you put the die roll that you got, so it would be a 3.
Okay.
And then for the total, you would put 5. Or I guess 6, because you get a bonus hit point if it's your favorite class. And then in that box where it says level : and there's the up and down arrows, push the up arrow to get to 1.
Level : Is it still on configuration?
It's right to the left of this. So there's like a box here. I'll put the 1 in. You see the 1 now?
Oh, I didn't even see that I was there.
Okay. And then if you hit the plus again,
Mm-hmm.
you can do the
Level
same
2.
thing for your next level. And that so this is a little bit backwards. Here is where you put the 3 and then the 2. Sorry. Or the 3 and then the total of 6. And then for your first level, it's actually going to be 8 plus the 3, which will be 11.
So 8, 11?
Yeah. And then you just add up the 2 that you have there, so that's 17, and then
17.
go back to the main page and
then
type
put
that in as your
17
max
current
hit
and max.
points and your current hit points.
All right, I'm probably going to forget
It's all right.
all those steps.
As we level up, I'm going to be reminding people, because this HP thing is a brand new thing that I've rolled into all the games. This is the youngest of the games, so it's the easiest to help people like start to learn what we're going to do there. But yeah, the 5 of you are seated around the table, and Bobbin is, I guess, ready for questions.
Ask me anything. I'm an open book.
Well, we're bringing them down to the basement area, right?
No, you asking things in the context of the game first, because you guys need to accept him before they're going to bring him downstairs.
So what are you good at?
Well, normally I would say everything. But even I have my limits. Certainly sneaking. Certainly lying. I wouldn't lie to you guys, though.
Up.
Hold on.
Gauge checks.
Yep, I was just trying to find it. Where is
Give me
it?
a bluff check to oppose their gauges.
Okay.
Yeah, so Greybloom, you believe he wouldn't lie to you, but Dracus, you're pretty sure, like, given the right opportunity, he'd still probably lie.
I'm pretty sure you're given the right opportunity, you'd lie.
Well, I can't say always tell the truth. That would be ridiculous.
It would probably be pretty hard to do what we're due. If you did, I guess.
You
I
need
became
someone who
hungry for a
can.
second. That was weird.
I'm sure you need someone to worm your way into places you normally couldn't get into. And I can do that both with my words and with my disguises. Probably not as much as your friend here. Forget the name of the characters. I'm sorry.
Greybloom?
Well,
Yeah,
nobody's really
Greybloom.
introduced themselves yet, so
Yeah, I guess that's true. The person that looks like a ninja, right?
yeah. Well, I mean, he's dressed. Right now, he'd probably be dressed in sort of casual clothes. But you can make a racist assumption that a goblinoid is probably more sneaky.
Sure, that's fair, I guess.
If we end up in a scrap, will you be able to defend yourself?
Almost certainly. I know just the right weak points to find.
Do you like to work more solo or in a team?
I am a jack of all trades. Certainly would try whatever best suits the scenario.
Trying to remember questions we asked at the beginning, session 0. I'm like blinking.
Yeah, I thought maybe people would remember those questions because I was like, man, this should be a walk in the park for a hot seat.
Are there like people walking by?
There aren't really people walking by. It's very strange that like off to the side, people don't really seem to come around this way.
I was gonna try and show off some of my skills if there's like people around.
Yeah, you'd have to go out of your way to do that.
All right. What is your greatest professional achievement? I'm just looking up random job interview stuff. You don't need to answer that.
I wouldn't even call myself a professional. But I certainly can. What's the phrase I'm looking for? I had this and then I forgot it.
You must be being hit by Mentalk.
Mentalk,
The mind taker.
I could sell sand to people who live in the desert.
Why would they buy sand if they live in the desert?
Exactly.
Exactly. My character's done, by the way.
I appreciate the test.
Is his character wearing anything like fancy or at all that I would notice?
I don't know. Do you think the Drekis would have something more fancy on?
Not really. I just want
Didn't
some
you buy that
items
fancy
like,
suit?
Yeah, but he's not going to wear it all the
In
time.
my house or my place.
That's not his drinking suit.
Suit up.
I don't want to actually take it from them because I was going to give it back. But I want to do like a sleight of hand check on someone to like steal something.
Ooh, yeah, you actually see something that you could easily try to slip off their belt with a sleight of hand.
Yeah, I want to do that.
Okay. Let's see. Yeah, everybody give me a perception. You know you can't go over there. Kiss at me all you want. You can't go over there.
Of course, we all roll bad.
So yeah, he will. As you guys are thinking of things, he'll set one of the potion bottles on the table.
Oh, they already gave you one.
Yes, indeed.
It's at about this point that I mean, you can reveal it to them if you want, but you took it specifically from Drekis.
Yeah, I would reveal it. And it would be like, well, if you didn't see me do this.
Hey, I'll take it back. I'll put it on my belt. I'll tie it extra tight.
Trust me, that is just for display. I would never steal from you guys.
Okay, sure.
Inch my chair farther away from him.
Okay, I believe him this time.
What were you saying, Bella?
I just said I'm inching my chair farther away from him.
Don't be worried.
That does bring another question up. If we were sent on a mission to get something of high value, would you try to keep it?
Oh, I've certainly been tempted in the past. I can't say I wouldn't, but I would certainly try not to.
You would try not to keep it?
Feel like I am talking in circles here.
That seems ominous.
I probably wouldn't even realize I had something valuable. I just find the shiniest things and I take them.
I start covering up my buttons. No, I'm joking.
Oh no, he's gonna take my keys.
Right. I need those to get in and out of my house.
Listen, I'm not perfect. But I certainly can provide what you need.
Oh, Blair will like slam the table. I'm gonna walk up and I'm gonna punch him in the face. But it looks like I'm aiming for the beside his face. I want to see if he flinches.
Okay.
when I go to punch him.
Yeah.
But I'm drunk, so I don't know what happened.
Give me an attack roll. At a -4. And Zach, give me a fortitude save. Oh yeah, he 100%. He flinches a bit as you bring your fist in.
I get this coward to replace Lynn.
I'm pretty sure Lynn would have flinched too. No
No,
offense.
she wouldn't. Watch your tongue.
Listen, I wasn't. There's things I can handle.
I actually would have been more upset if he didn't flinch. Look at the man; looks quite dexterous.
Yeah, in his defense, you probably would have killed him if you hit him. I chuckled to myself.
Probably. You remember that. All right,
Oh, I'll remember. I never forget.
Yeah, both of our characters are massive. Like
Yeah.
we're massive.
Yeah,
and, like super muscular.
I'm a very like I'm kind of like I'm not like a smaller type person, but I certainly would be intimidated. I wouldn't be. I'm not openly intimidated, but I'm intimidated probably.
You better not steal any of my stuff.
Oh, that's like I put like the hand to the chest. Oh, I swear, I would never.
I'm looking. Is he crossing some fingers or something?
Give me a perception. Are you crossing any fingers?
Not like I get what you would get. I'm not like doing anything, but I am kind of like using. How do I? I'm putting a emphasis on the different words, so you might think something is up.
So you don't see anything's necessarily up, but what's your gauge? What's your gauge bonus? I'll use the same roll, but what's your gauge bonus?
Me?
No.
+1.
Okay. So yeah, you'd still get the impression that there are words within words there.
Well, I don't want to forfeit any other matches. I'll say we try now. See what happens.
At the very least, if I don't work out, you could always fire me. I'm sure there's tons of people around.
I say that we check out his skills on the course.
Or
More than happy to demonstrate.
do you think there might be a simple errand we might need to run where we could take him and see? I don't want to lose if he's terrible.
Well, we had to forfeit the match. Like we would be joining in whenever they do the next one.
Right, I was saying between now and then, would there be some kind of trial we could put him on ourselves?
Well, Greybloom, you would know that they're getting close to having a job for you. The work you did this morning is good intel on what next steps would be.
Yep. Something soon.
And you'll know, by the way, Tassara, that you guys had cracked the address right before the event had happened. Like just a little before with the extra aid that you'd given him. They had figured out the business that was responsible for the transportation. That morning, they came, let you know right before the event started that like they did it, and that's all they said. That you didn't need to come by afterwards. That they've got it, and they'll be doing some follow up from there.
We'll see how well you perform. See if you can even pretend to take her place.
Oh, I do not intend to take anyone's place. I will do the best that I can.
Gage sick. No, I'm joking.
We're just constantly gauging.
I'm not always lying.
But when I am, I'm lying.
But when I am, I'm really good at it.
So yeah, if you're all going to be willing to have him do a trial run, you can let Dragomir know, and Dragomir will guide the 5 of you down to the lower levels, where he will have some things that he wants to discuss. And actually, let me double check some music I have, because I think... Check this track. Nope, that's not the track. That track is something different. But I will play some of this one. He'll guide you, the 5 of you, back down to the lower levels. And down there, just as you have before, you'll see somebody with a table laid with a map laid across a table, a map of an area laid across a table. And Dragomir will lead you over to that table, where Ford and another person are standing there next to the map. It's you guys. Good. We've got some new developments. I heard the bad news about your friend. I'm incredibly sorry to hear that. As you come up, Bobbin, you'll notice that unlike Dragomir, who's a very sort of effeminate and well-dressed elven character, this other person has some elvish features, but they have more of a kind of pinkish purple skin tone. But their face looks a bit like almost broken, like they may have been hit too hard too many times, and just kind of their like jaw just kind of disstuck, and certain aspects of their face don't look quite right. But they have a very sort of emotionless way of speaking when they talk. There are some important things that we have discovered that I think would be of good use. Greybloom did some reconnaissance earlier. The transportation company, in this particular case, the name is less important than the symbol. And he will take a small piece of paper and hand it to you, Tassara. This is the official symbol of the transportation company that you'll be following up with. In most cases, people don't bother to discuss these companies by name. This is part of why we were having such a problem. Someone was literally taking other words, converting them to Draconic, and then converting them to arcane symbology. We were able to decode it. Tassara's got a good hand for symbology. It was quite helpful in us decoding what we had before us. Unfortunately, though, Greyboom came to us with some less than stellar information on the opposite side. I will leave that to Franklin here to discuss. The other person that's standing next to Ford, who is like dressed in almost kind of like a casual but darkly colored outfit, will gesture to the map and circle a specific pair of locations. All right, so here in the Archtome Borough, you need to get the right shape. I gotta remember how to do this. It's Alt to that. In this area around here is the building where we believe the Noquil is being stored according to the details that we have. That is what we would expect. It's what they say it is. We also know of where the Noquil is being mined, but that is less important, potentially. But for now, our primary goal is to verify our information and our sources by getting in the inside and at least confirming some information about the interior. To do this, it is a heavily guarded place. Incredibly heavily guarded. But the goal first is to figure out what an easy way to get in would be, unnoticed. We've noticed a benefit and a flaw in their system. Their offices are here. Oops, I'm not on the shape drawing tool. Their offices are located. There it is. Here. These offices are where they dispatch their carts from. The carts go from the pickup location, the mining facility, which is located here, and does not look to be the entrance to a mining facility aside from the large amount of their personal guards that watch the area. So I will label these as well. Be helpful. Oops. Mines. Noquil. Refinery. And let me grab the symbols. Of course, just forget that that's going to open up in this window. The negative / positive is that we cannot ID the people who are traditionally responsible for the shipments. However, this may work out to some degree to our benefit. Us not being able to identify them may mean that they themselves would not be able to be identified if they were different than the people that are supposed to go. We assume that this is likely by design. That way, there's not some more complicated issue if someone doesn't notice someone and they restrict the delivery for other reasons. What we did get from the reconnaissance that Greybloom did is Greybloom identified that they have a certain set of identifying features that they bring with them. Carried on them are a series of medallions, which we believe are the identification devices used specifically for verifying that they are who they're supposed to be. These in an easy to read text. God, this is just not. What font did I use for this? that's that. Let's do this. Why is RJ Fiscal so clear and crisp?
'Cause it has that gray background behind it.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. I know what this is. Hold on. I know how to do this now. I remember this. I go to layer, right? Give the object a name. That's what I do. Oh, because I put a building in there. All right. Anyway, I'll work on this while we're saying this while we're talking. The plan is going to be rather difficult, but I think I've thought this out well. If the 5 of you can get into the transportation company, then from there, we should be able to have you pick up some of the names of some of the employees there. From there, hopefully we should be able to get hold of one of the medallions of the employees, and in doing so, give us exactly what we need to get into the establishment. This will at first be very similar to your last mission, except you know where you need to get into. You won't need to do too much research into that. But after that will be where the difficulty might come. Any questions?
Is there a map of a sewer system that we might be able to look at?
Sewers are very dangerous.
Yep. The sewers are protected by a series of very dangerous creatures. Lots of slimes, jellies, and oozes to keep the sewers nice and clean. But as a byproduct, they are quite easily the most dangerous thing you could traverse through. Perhaps if your skill increases one day, that might be an option. But for now, the surface is the safest way to maneuver.
And I'm pretty sure I looked down into the sewer one time and I saw a big clear gelatinous ooze with poop just in it, all over. It was gross.
Well, I guess that rules out that strategy of infiltration. Maybe we could attempt to mimic the costume of one of the guards. I could try to blend in.
Well, for starters, we just need information on names. It would be easy to sneak in during the night, and probably not a lot of people will be around. We can talk details more later, but I'd assume if we just do some recon outside, figure out their procedures, sort of like we did with our last one, shouldn't be too difficult.
Yes.
We expect that might be a likely way to do it. We should warn you, though, that you don't want to spend too much time specifically in that area. There are a number of guard patrols that frequent the area and are always looking for problems. This is a very prominent delivery company, and as such, they don't take well to even cleaning people being around for too long. We've had we've watched many street cleaners be pushed out of the area with relative ease. They will get quite forceful if you reject what they're saying. They themselves are not guards, but they certainly act as though they are. But if you can get enough information about the goings-on there, perhaps from there you can formulate a plan for how to get in and get the information needed. We expect that within, things are probably not coded at least as bad as this. Especially since we already know the code, you should, theoretically, be able to break it fairly easily if it is Tessara. Preference here is that you leave any information you find on site. Don't bring anything back with you. Get in, get out as quietly as you can. Do you think this is something that the 5 of you can handle?
Almost certainly.
Should be easy enough. Doesn't sound as rough as our last job.
Yeah, seems good. I'm excited.
Excellent. We should make one other thing rather clear. We need to make sure this is done, this first step is done cleanly. There was a bit of a snafu, it seems, that you guys left behind in the last location. There were a few guards that came out to the area and kept an eye on the building of RJ Fiscal, that RJ Fiscal was in as of late. Was there someone in there that you perchance did cause some form of injury or assault to?
Yeah, we knocked out a guard.
If you end up having to injure or assault someone, it is important you let us know. We can make plans to make sure that things like that don't create too big a mess. But the more problems you create, the more messes we may not be able to clean up.
What does that mean? Should we have killed him?
Killing him would have been an irrecoverable mess. If you take a life, the assessors will certainly be on site. For now, they simply believe that somebody broke in and stole something. Rumor has it, though, that the person behind RJ Fiscal has chosen to ask them not to pursue things. So we believe what you brought back to us, he wasn't supposed to own. He started pointing fingers at a couple of other people, which was helping to throw the trail off of us. But when the guard started asking, well, what is it we're supposed to be looking for? His mouth quickly shut.
So what do you suggest if we get into a scuffle? Are you saying we should avoid those at all costs?
If you have to take someone down, do it. But try to make it clean and quick, preferably without being seen. If you do have to be seen, let us know exactly who you took down. And we will make sure the things get cleaned up afterwards, as best we can.
It would seem that stealth is the best approach here.
Yes. Well, you all seem to be very skilled at stealth. And at reconnaissance. And remember, if one of you should fall, get them out. Make sure they're not a problem. For now, I would suggest some of you sober up.
And have a drink on the job.
Not you.
Yeah, drunkie.
Just want to be clear.
Any further questions?
You mentioned RJ Fiscal pointed the finger at some people before he withdrew his complaint. Do you know who?
Another competing financial services company.
Do you think they might also have some of the The weird rock?
That would be my assumption. If it's something you want to follow up on, I can give you the information. But if you do this on your own.
Of course. I am curious, though.
Very well then. He will, on the map, also highlight another location. That location is... One sec, I gotta back through my notes here. This is far back in my notes. Oh shit, that's why I'm having trouble. I'm not in the game, I'm in the everybody notes. I was like, man, I shouldn't have to go back that far. One is at... it is a small pet store. I actually misspoke. I thought it was the other financial firm, but it is not. It is a pet store, and it is located. Hang on, I'm trying to get to identifier stuff here.
Oh.
Not that big, obviously.
Takes up that whole half of the place.
It is, oh god, don't give me
A very successful pet shop.
The only pet shop.
It's the pet shop.
It's the littlest pet shop.
Got him.
A little pet shop of horrors.
Nice.
It is known as Kitty Corner.
I drool.
Why?
I find that odd that he responds in such a way.
That's not a normal thing?
He's a goblin.
Is it even normal for goblins?
It is normal for goblins to eat basically almost any four-legged, two-legged creature.
I
He's smaller than the goblin.
Yep.
I
sometimes
rescind
bigger.
Ben.
In fact, we ate all the owl bears out of existence. That's why they're extinct now.
That is not why they're extinct. They never existed.
That's what they want you. That's what they want you to think.
After the goblins got done with them, man, it's like they never existed.
Some kind of conspiracy theory, man.
All right. Any further questions?
Get in, get out, don't be seen. I'm sure we can handle it.
Excellent. Well, get to it in your own time. But remember, the longer you delay, the longer it will take for us to give you the assistance you need. If you need anything, of course, please feel free to take from the inventory. You're allowed 3 chemicals to assist you. Oh, and the new guy, Bobbin, you'll need one of these. And he'll set one of the bottles down like what you see the other party have. This is a non-detectable potion bottle. A potion can be added to the bottle, and you can use it without alerting the magical sensors.
Oh, neat.
He's probably going to need a Masterwork Thieves tools also.
Yeah, I threw that on his character sheet already.
Oh, I forgot to add that myself.
I assume I'll need to brew up some new potion batches.
As people need them.
Well, I'm assuming his bottle's empty.
Yes, we do not have anything for the bottle. You're kind of our chief alchemist right now.
Yeah, I figured. I'll just hold my hand out for your bottle.
I present it.
Yeah, I'll take it, and I think at this point because they have the alchemist lab here that they let me use, correct?
Correct.
So yeah, I'll probably just go take off towards the alchemist lab to start working on this so that we can
Technically, don't you have to kind of refill everybody's bottles every day? Because don't they go inert after a day?
Not these. That would be if I was doing the infusions through my spells and doing infusions, then they would go inert after a day, but this is using craft alchemy to actually create a true potion.
Okay, so you're using brew potion as the feat to do this. Okay.
Yeah, so this one is these currently are brew potions basically until and if I take infusions, and then I can do the infusion style. But yeah, those ones would go inert after a day.
But here there is then some measure of limitation because you can't really you can't do other ones on the fly like you might need to in some circumstances.
Yeah, this is why I have to like go and fill it now because this isn't something I can do like in the middle of combat. These ones for now have to be prepared ahead of a time, and we have to hope that what we have is enough.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know what check I need to make to. I don't know what.
Just make a craft alchemy check. It's fairly low.
Yeah, and I know with their alchemist station, I have a +2 to this.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, you're fine. You make it pretty quick.
We turned over that blight quartz, right?
Yes, you did. And you guys can decide whether or not you want to do something with it. You have a pound of blight quartz.
What is that?
Blight quartz is a material. It's a quartz-like material that has the ability to, when it injures somebody or when it comes into contact with somebody, take a part of their life force from them. So it functions by giving someone negative levels.
Is that something that you could put on like the tip of a sword or something?
It's something that has to replace the blade of a weapon.
Oh, okay.
And it's fragile, right?
It is fragile.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. That's probably...
And you have to keep it in a very special, like, sheath or something that basically has it completely sealed inside until you want to pull it out and use it because it, like, deteriorates or something quickly.
Okay, never mind then.
And extended interaction with it will affect you negatively. So it's the kind of thing that's really good, but it has to be used with great care.
Yeah, because if we kill someone with it, we wouldn't be leaving a corpse, right? It would just
You
erase
would
them from
not
existence.
be leaving a corpse. Nope. The corpse would basically decay.
Yep, so there you go.
Well, if they die from the negative levels. If you kill them normally with it, they're not going to decay away. They're going to...
You can't just beat on their body with it and it have it evaporate.
Because once they're dead, if you've knocked them to death, you can't take the life force out of them because there's no life force left in them
to take.
So can you just knock them out, not kill them, and then stab them with it?
That's something you'd have to experiment with.
Oh yeah, there we go. You can't question somebody whose body doesn't exist anymore.
Is there some kind of, I don't know if buying is the right word. Is there some kind of like specialty cloak I can get that would be like kind of good for like nighttime, specifically for like nighttime sneaking?
So I haven't done a lot of like looking into what kind of additional non-magical stuff there is, but I believe there's gear that you can put on that does give you a bonus, which at this point you would have unlocked with your with the completion of the last mission, because you now have masterwork objects open to you as options that you can choose from. So this would be a searching the SRD for things that give you bonuses to stealth that are non-magical. In between sessions, of course.
Yep. I'll try to remember to do that then.
Yeah, I need that also. I don't have enough.
I think we all do. All the stealth.
No one needs more bonuses to stealth. Nonsense.
All of the bonuses to stealth. I would trade away my weapon for bonuses to stealth.
Just go in like the rage. Yelling, screaming, trying to cut things down. That'll work, right?
I think if people are though mostly equipped, we could probably just do this tonight.
Do Do you want to see how do you want to start formulating a plan for how you want to try to get the reconnaissance?
Yeah, I think we should try at least one day of recon, or at least a few hours of recon if we can. Like, obviously, you don't want to be around there for too long, but it wouldn't hurt to maybe do some, like, brief nighttime checks. See what it's like.
Well, I think that I'm trying to remember the names. Me and
Actually, again, you guys still have not done formal introductions, so perhaps that would be important.
Well, they know my name. They know at least my first name.
Have you all traded names?
I mean, you've said mine like 5 times now, so if he's not bright enough to pick that up, then I don't know if he's right for our party.
I'm Draken.
Great.
Valerio.
And as
They
you
all
may
just
have
blend
heard,
into a chorus.
I start shaking people's hands, and I was like, "My name is Bobbin. Bobbin Smooth Hands."
Bobbin Smooth.
Yes, that is my name.
Well, now that you've all met properly, perhaps you can formulate a plan and get things accomplished.
So, what we might be able to do is we can have me and Grey Bloom attempt to watch the patterns of the guards. Maybe we can have someone cause a distraction just to see how they respond. I think would provide valuable information.
What kind of distraction could we cause to not give us too much in trouble?
Or make them, like, put more guards up.
Well, maybe we could
Pay
stage.
some kids to light a tent on fire and tell them to run to the docks.
We could stage a fist
would go
fight.
poorly.
That would work too, I suspect. Make it seem like some drunks are fighting outside there. I forget. It's a camp. No, it's like a building.
Yeah, it's a building.
We could stage some kind of fake fight outside. See how they respond to it.
One thing that you will know, though, is fighting will draw a lot of guards to an area. No matter what. Like, it's very rare that a fight breaks out anymore because people don't want to disappear. And being the person who causes a fight, or there not being an answer to who started the fight, is a good way to not need to wake up anymore.
I think we need to just surveillance them as long as you can and then work with that.
I was just hoping to see if we could provoke a guard response of some form. But I guess we could see what their patterns are.
I see if I would know any extra information about this particular building that might help us.
Sure. Give me a knowledge local.
Damn.
Are the names of those buildings coming up for you guys?
I don't see anything.
No, yeah.
Hang on. I just looked over at the thing and I noticed that.
Get the nat 20 on my alchemy check that I don't really need, and then I roll a 5 on my knowledge local.
Yeah,
Even still, that's pretty good.
with a local, that will not really... Why is the nameplate not showing up? Do this, will it show up? That will not really be enough to know a lot of details about the building, other than it's an older construction building, largely made of stone. It has a large parking lot for various carts, but that's about it. There it is.
Yeah, I guess for right now we could just watch the guards, see how their shifts go, and when there's time or spaces to get into the building.
What I'm going to do here then is I am going to give everybody some minis for this. They can move about. And what I will want each of you to do, if you're going to be scouting the area, is I want to know where you're scouting from.
Is
What
there?
Oh, go ahead.
Is there like a way, like a building I can get on top of to like look that's like around?
So in that area, there's going to be a lot of security. So you'd have to be really stealthy, but you could get around any of the, you could try to get to the roof of any of the buildings around the area.
What kind of stuff is in the market here?
What kind of what? I'm sorry.
What kind of shops and stuff?
These are very high-end shops of various types, but largely it's going to be clothing and miscellaneous goods.
Okay.
I mean,
go ahead.
I'm gonna do my standard hiding in plain sight as a street janitor.
Okay. I still need you to put yourself somewhere around the vicinity of that building.
Okay. It was the refinery or the mine that we were.
No, it's this building here because you're trying to get info about
the other one.
Yes.
Okay.
Could I climb to like a top of a building that's farther away and like parkour on top?
So since I can go anywhere to do my job, I'll wait for everyone else to position themselves before I go.
You can try to scout the area. So give me a perception check around in the area around that area, and I will tell you what you can find. This is for Bobbin.
Oh, okay.
Since you're asking about whether or not you find a building that you could get from one to another. You'll notice that there is a way up on this building, and that you could get across these sets of buildings to try to get over to there. But it could be risky. It's a bit of a some of these are a bit of a longer jump.
Are you discussing this plan with us before you're doing it, or are you doing this like on the fly?
No, I guess I would try and coordinate when I'm going to do it.
Yeah, well, because for me, I want to know where everyone's going to be to place myself.
Yeah, I'm just saying if you were to bring this up to us in advance, so we just remind you that there's sensors that may pick you up if you're doing some crazy shit than other people are doing.
They only look down though, so if it's a tall building, I mean,
that's up to you. I wouldn't want to be seen jumping from building to building. It seems very unusual.
I wouldn't want to be seen falling from a building.
That's fair.
That would be super suspicious.
I'm okay with the idea of people falling from buildings. I might be biased.
Oh yeah,
where did that guy come from?
Can I? So what types of are there? Like, how do I say this? Like what do the people that live inside like this area kind of look like? Is there like a...
This is where the area you're at now is more of a business district. The northern part, let me use the ruler marker. So like this area throughout here is more of a business district.
Can I attempt to like disguise myself as like a business person?
I mean, you can try to do whatever you want as whatever you want, but it's important to discuss with your team what the plans are first before.
Oh yeah, sure.
Going forward. Right, so this is just sort of the planning phase.
It would be my idea to disguise myself as someone that works in the area, and to try to walk around as if I was just supposed to be there.
I can probably attempt to assist you with your disguise.
We're gonna wait till night to go do this, right?
Well, if he's supposed to be posing as someone who works in the area, he can't do that at night.
That's true.
Yeah, so I mean, we could potentially gain valuable info during the day or night, so...
Perhaps 2 shifts. We did spend money on those expensive suits, Drekus.
That's
Perhaps
what I
we
was
can
thinking.
fit in as well, and then those that are more stealth, you can do night patrols, see what happens at night, and we can pick a time that's better to do something in.
With this idea starting to formulate, did Tassara put ranks in?
Yes.
Go ahead and give me an insight check. And then give me a knowledge local with that. Okay. No, that's all. You don't need a lot for this, because buildings that are for sale are common knowledge, or offices that are for sale are common knowledge. And with the idea of people being business people, and the idea of things that business people would do in an area of exchange, you will know that this particular building right over here, it's not a direct route, but this building here is for sale. Well, space in this building is for sale.
That's pretty good. So I could try to like pretend like I'm gonna buy an office space.
Oh, well, it sounded like they wanted you and me to go at night, and then the 3 of them.
Oh, sure. Yeah, that makes sense.
Do that.
So the people that are going during the day can try to pretend like they're buying a piece of the office. And there's probably a window or something that would give them kind of some advantage at the area we're scouting.
It would be somewhat disadvantaged, but potentially, because there's another building in between the two.
But they could also try to route their pathway such that they pass by the building as well.
Perhaps.
And if they're purposely walking towards a building.
I mean, and you can use the excuse of being around there. If a guard stops you and starts bugging you, you at least have the excuse of, like, there's a building for sale 2 buildings down, and I'm just glancing about the area to see, you know, what kind of area it is before I purchase a building. Like, they're probably still going to tell you to get the hell out of there, but it's at least something to say to them instead of just being like, I'm just walking
around. By.
Well, I'm not very
Just
good
means-
with people.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it means that people going during the day then should probably be decent-ish at lying if that's gonna be your route, because you don't want to say that and have them see through it, because then that'll just be extra suspicious.
It's not an unbelievable lie. I don't think you have to be super convincing. It's just a plausible explanation. Plus, I don't think any of you could fit into this suit I bought.
I mean, I'm certainly not.
I mean, technically she could fit into it. It would just keep falling off.
Nobody wants to see that. All right. Are we okay with this plan, or?
Yeah, so then the nighttime plan, what's the nighttime plan going to look like? We're just going to sneak by and...
Yeah, so I actually work as part of the cleaning crew, and that's an area that we do clean in. So I'll just be on the streets on whichever opposite side of you. Like, I assume you're still just gonna go onto a roof and scan from there.
I'm gonna try to go onto a roof and
Make sure you don your disguise that in case you're seen.
We haven't gone over that with him. So yes, one of the things that we would prefer is, if you have this roof idea, we want you to come up with a persona that you don while you're on these missions in case you do get seen. It won't be you being seen, and will instead be this version of you. We'll design a mask to your liking, and the rest of an outfit to match.
Uh-huh.
You can think on it for a little bit, what you would like for a mask. In the meantime, we'll give you a blank one.
I think I have an idea.
What have you got?
So I guess do you need an alias essentially?
Yes.
You may call me Dusk.
Dusk. And what of your mask?
Basically a black mask and like a black cloak.
Okay. So straight black.
Yeah.
Will be done. So yeah, that's something else you can add to your inventory. That is a swappable item, so you won't always be wearing that, but when you go on these missions, that will be the outfit that you're wearing versus your regular outfit.
And we'll want to scan wherever you're trying to change. We'd probably want to look for cameras around there.
I see.
Yeah, I'm going to ask
yeah,
for
we'll wanna
some
plan
maid
out.
site again for that.
Yeah, you are each eligible for taking any three of the. Each of you can take any of the three of any of the drugs that are available.
Pin that particular post because it's eventually.
Did I really not pin that?
No, there's nothing pinned in that channel.
I am the worst
the
at
resist
pinning.
notes because it's eventually going to disappear in all my session notes. So.
Nope, I am just really bad at pinning, so I appreciate you reminding me of that.
Yep.
It is pinned.
Any three? Is it like we pick 3 and 1 of each, or can you potentially take multiple of one type?
You can take multiple of the same type if you want.
Okay, just wanted to check.
And you can multi-dose on them. Like multiple of the same in the same day. Not like any of you are facing any addictions or anything.
Nope.
Oh, I'm definitely taking 2 main sites, 1 vigilance. From my character's point of view, he's like, this is the most useful one. I can find the cameras. So, yeah, he doesn't know any
I
better.
just need to start paying attention to who gets addicted to what and taking extras of those and being like, I got extra.
Oh.
What you gonna do for me?
Oh man, I could go for some Serpent's Kiss. That sounds great.
There's always stuff. All right. So the plan now, it sounds like, is 3 of you are going to make the business arrangement and get as much of an eye on things as you can, or play the business team and do the best you can trying to get a look at things while you're in the area, use that as an excuse. And the night team is going to stage some locations and investigate from there.
Question. I know I've already rolled a knowledge local to see what I would be able to know about the building. This might be just for future purposes, so I know what I can and can't do. At this point, after rolling that, can I go to a library and try to figure out more and effectively get a second try with the library? Or is that something I would have needed to do first before I tried to use my own knowledge?
If you wanna go check the library, you can.
Okay, I think I'll do that because I don't really have an outfit for day team, and I'm not as equipped for night team, so I'll just go to the library and try to see if I can figure out any additional information about the building.
Excellent. Not a problem.
Can I get access to like spyglass?
I think that might be a little difficult. Let me double check. I forget what these cost. Yeah, you cannot get access to a spyglass yet.
So I just have to I'll have to be able to see it from where okay.
Correct.
That's fine.
They are not ready to entrust you with something that valuable.
Oh, fine.
Do they have a couple of magnifying glasses and a pipe?
That's not exactly how that works. Stop trying to boil things down. That's like one of my least favorite things in other people's games. When they do it, they're like, well, we can just use these other like simpler things that would do the same thing. And it's like, no, this isn't troll science. Like,
So
I
we
mean,
report.
I taped the bread with the jelly on one side to the cat, and then I dropped it. What were you expecting to happen?
Perpetual energy.
Perpetual motion.
All right, so let us take a short break, and when we get back, we'll see how your reconnaissance mission goes. I'll see you shortly.
Get a drink.
Valerio and Dracus, you put on your workday's best. Getting yourselves all nice and looking like businessmen. Can I get the characters with ranks in disguise to give them some assistance to maybe business them up a little bit more? Okay, so a little bit of improvement. But you guys are looking pretty sharp. And you can make your way into the district. And I want to kind of see, like, from where you're at, what's kind of your path going to be, both getting to the building and then leaving the building.
Yeah, I guess I'll talk to Dracus and say, do you want to stick together like we're business partners, or do you want to split up? What do you want to do?
Oh, I guess we can stick together. I'm not great at talking. That's false. Kind of hoping somebody else would come. What do you think?
You're fine at talking. We're talking right now. It's fine. Follow me.
All right, I'm gonna follow him.
All right, I'll lead the way then.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna make my. I'm just like outlining my path. I'm not gonna make it like super. Or I want to go. Wait, sorry.
That's
Forget
fine.
that pathing. I want to go like this. I want to go like this. I want to go like here. I want to make my way like around the outer edge of this side.
Okay.
And then I want to make my way to the building that's for sale through this way, so I pass that other building that we want to check out.
Got it. So you go around kind of through the back way, or past
Right,
the back end of the building. Okay, or the south end. All right. So can I get 3 perception checks there from each of you? Larios and Dracus's.
Another one?
That's okay. You ended up with, this is actually a good array for the two of you to roll through. So on the first pass, when you're kind of walking past here, there's not a lot to be seen. But as you come around the other way, about here, you'll get a good look at where the carts are stored. There is a big iron fence that goes up there. You can fully like see through the gates, or through the fencing around there. It's got like the bar, blank, bar, blank, bar, blank kind of pattern. You can see there are about 6 carts on the inside. Each of them are covered. These are horseless carts. They are pulled by magic. Some businesses do have specific licenses, as we talked about before, to use magic. But they tend to be very, very wealthy or very, very connected businesses. See the order at which these came up.
Mine clicked like 5 times, so the bottom 2 don't count.
Okay, so this actually changed it then. You would have seen it's still the same sort of check. You would have seen the carts then from here and from here. But from this angle, it actually works out well, and not this angle. You'll additionally notice that there is a door. The door on the inside is against the southeastern wall, not against the southwestern wall. From over here, you wouldn't have noticed that because it would have looked like there was no door going inward. And the door is a rather big door. It's like a almost garage door style thing.
Sorry, you said southeast or southwest?
Southeast.
Southeast?
Yeah, because you can see it from this angle.
And what side were the gates on that we could see through
the gates are on the southwest. You can see the gate from the southwest. You're almost looking at it directly as you look down the roadway.
Okay.
But the gates are kind of like the door is like a large wooden portcullis that is lifted to allow carts to go inside.
How tall are the gates?
The gates are, let's see, from your secondary perception from Dracus's, You guys will easily be able to tell the gates are about 10 feet tall.
10 feet tall.
Yep. And they have spikes on the top of them. They look like somebody could climb over it if they were careful, but like you couldn't like recklessly and swiftly like try to like rush your way up them. And they look a bit tougher to climb because they're like you wouldn't quite be able to reach the upper bar that sort of holds the thing together. So you have to like try to climb these kind of bare bars for a little ways and then pull yourself up. It's doable, but it does look like it would add to the difficulty to get up it. And as you come around the back, you'll notice, or around the south end of things, you'll notice the south end is where a lot of the guards seem to be. There's about 3 guards standing at the south entrance. And Drekis, as you're like glancing over at it, one of them like just starts staring you down.
I'm gonna look down and try to look the other way, not draw attention.
Will I notice that or no? That's something only Drekis sees.
He'll notice it because they specifically look at him. You'll notice that they are looking at him, and both of you can give me a gauge check.
Whoa!
So, Drekis is on a bad seed tonight. But Valerio, you notice the guy looking at him, and then you notice his reaction, and you know that like him acting like he wasn't looking at things is probably more suspicious than him keeping his head up.
I'll kind of nudge Drekis and say, "Keep your head up. Keep your head up."
I'm gonna try to follow suit.
Yep. Give me a I guess this would sort of be bluff to maintain composure.
For both of us, or
no, just for him.
God damn.
Yeah, he just starts acting a bit awkward. But you guys can make by about that point you'll round the corner and make your way up to the office that's for sale.
Yeah, I guess we check it out to make it look like we're checking the property out, circle around.
Yep.
Look at it. Do we notice anything interesting?
Yeah, so it's a couple of different offices actually that are for sale on the inside. The building is laid out very similar to the RJ Fiscal building in some ways. It has like a extended part at the front, a slightly extended part at the front, but this one like kind of widens out at the top with a lot of, but there are like gardens around the outer edges of the front and back.
Is there like agents trying to sell the place here, or is there anyone here, or is it?
Yeah, if you come up to it, there's like a little sign underneath each of the empty spaces that says "Inquire inside for details."
What do you think, Drekis? Should we at least make show of us going inside and checking it out for a bit?
Yeah, seems like a good idea. We could look around for cameras too. I mean, surveillance things.
Yes, we do want to make sure this area is very secure for our business ventures. Let's go check it out.
Yeah, the two of you head inside. Inside this place, there is the usual guard posted at the front, who will greet you as you come in. What do you need?
We were hoping for a tour of the place. Interested in potential purchase?
I'll have him sent out. 1 moment. And he'll fiddle around with some things on the desk. But eventually, a young lady will come out.
Hold on. How long does this take for the person to come?
About a minute. Minute and a half.
During that minute, I want to whisper to Drekis and be like, we should try to push for a view of the roof if we can. For our friend. See if it's useful.
All right. Might be a hard sell, though.
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
A young lady comes out to the front, very short, probably halfling, or something near that nature. Hello, you're here about the space? We have a couple.
We're looking to perhaps purchase something in the area. Would you mind giving us a quick tour of the layout of the place?
Certainly. What kind of business are you in?
You know, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, some meat production, perhaps some front office for selling the product. You know, we're just looking for our options.
Oh, this isn't really the kind of area that this isn't really the kind of office space that you'd want to.
But we need someplace to house the admin team. You know, the people that work on the invoicing and all the other stuff.
Okay. Yes. Right this way.
Thank you.
She'll lead you down a hallway, and then turn right, and then down another hallway. And at the
I'm just gonna make like comments as we pass things, like, "Oh yes, we could put that over there," or whatever.
No. This is the hall.
Oh, we don't get this part of the purchase.
No.
Oh, my apologies.
Do we notice any cameras or anything like that as we're going?
Give me a perception as the two of you walk down the
Oh
halls.
lord, I don't even want to click anything anymore.
Oh!
I see things.
You do see things. So yeah, you will notice, as per what I talked about, you will notice there are the small objects that you see in one in the center of the hall and one at each of the ends of the hall that would indicate that there are recording devices here. That there are scrying devices. And but you'll reach the room that she guides you to. This is our smallest spot, good for an admin team. And she'll unlock the door, open it up, and let you see the inside.
Is smoking a thing in this world? Like, do people smoke?
Yeah, people smoke
like
all kinds of different things.
Are you allowed to smoke in here?
Of course not.
Right. We have some employees that may smoke. Is there like a roof access they could go to or something?
There's the side door there that leads out to the garden.
Polluting the garden doesn't sound very nice.
Is
there a path to the roof? Easy accessible?
What do you mean it doesn't sound very nice? Most other places don't have a garden, especially not a fenced-in garden with our...
I didn't want the droppings of the whatever they smoke to litter the gardens.
He's very particular about plants.
You should respect nature. It's a nice thing.
Yes. You should respect nature.
I'm glad we agree on that.
Well, roof access is limited to only specific employees of the building.
So if we bought this place, would we get such access, or is that higher
no,
clientele?
It is not open to just anyone.
I see. Where would that access be? Just so we know we stay out of that area.
I'm gonna need you to give me a bluff check, because I'm feeling that
Of
you're
course.
very sus.
Oh my god.
Damn. Hold on. Let me pull up this general staff sheet here. Okay. You know, I don't feel this is probably the right place for you guys.
We get that a lot because we're hobgorks.
No.
Ah.
That's got nothing to do with it.
Sure. I had enough of this place anyway.
Yeah,
Come on, let's
let's
get
get
out
out
of
of
here.
Always treat us like this. I'm just gonna buy into it.
Well,
and
I'm
storm
assuming I get the opinion she's getting because she's pausing after I'm asking these questions.
Mhm.
I get the vibe she's not cool with some of these questions, so I'm trying to bail.
Yeah. No problem. But yeah, as you come out, what path do you want to take to go back?
I want to backtrack, so I want to go back through that bit, like that way, the way we came, so that if they were seeing the way, well, I mean, I tell
out.
Draco.
Definitely don't.
Well, I mean,
Those
I have no
guys
idea.
were super suspicious of me.
Yeah, but we're just going back the way we came. I mean, if they see us came that way, we go back that way. Just don't linger.
I say we just go straight back that way.
Coward. I'll meet you back there. I'm going back this way.
All right, I'm not going that way.
Okay.
You said my shifter aspect is not noticeable, right?
It can be not necessarily noticeable.
All right. So for when I get close to the building, I'm going to activate my owl aspect.
Okay.
And I'm specifically not trying to linger or stare too long. I'm just trying to glance as I pass by.
Yep. Give me a perception.
Whatever. I don't know if this gives. Let me just double check if it gives me any bonus to perception. I don't think so. I think just bonus to stealth. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you don't notice anything different as you're passing by.
Okay.
But yeah, the two of you can get back to the gate and make your way back to the outer ward.
Yeah. When we get back to the rest of them, I'll give them the lowdown of what we saw. There's a large wooden portcullis. I assume we're in Cresthaven, wherever we're safe to talk.
Yeah.
Large wooden portcullis door, southeast entrance of the building. There's gates made of iron. They're 10 feet tall. They got spikes on top. If you're careful, you could climb over. Or I've heard of there's saws. Perhaps the resistance can supply, so we can just cut through if we want to get to the carts. That's where they're being held. That's on the southwest of the building, and the guards got very.
Get to the carts. We're just trying to get inside and get names of employees.
Well, if we want to get inside that way, that's a possibility. And the guards were very suspicious quickly. They noticed Drekus staring a little too long, and they got to attention really quickly. The building that's for sale, I tried to inquire about getting to the roof access, but it seems like you'd probably have to pass a few locked doors if you wanted to get through there. I don't imagine there'd be many. There might be one. There was one guard when we came in. I don't know if you'd stick around at night in an empty building, but perhaps. I don't know if you want to just try scaling the outside of it, but...
It did seem like a lot of the guards were on the south end of the building as well. Like, there were like 3 guards in that one area, so it was the only thing I really noticed outside of what he said already.
Maybe you can cross-reference that with what you guys can find out at night, and we can see what the best way in is.
Yep.
Oh, if you're planning on going in the building that has the offices for sale, there were quite a few cameras in there. I was hoping at least we could sneak in there to change, but that is not going to be a place we can do that.
Yes, I think our tactic of using the mage site to find blind spots is the best course of action for that.
Okay. So let's send in the night crew.
Night crew assemble.
So can I have each of you take up your starting positions or your monitoring positions? I know
we're going to be on opposite sides, right?
Yeah, I guess I'm coming from the south, trying to find a building that I can like probably around here or so, right? I'm trying to climb up a building.
The nearest one you could find is here, towards the edge of the market.
Here?
Yeah, right where the center where I'm pinging. So a little up.
It's hard to see where the center is.
So this would be the building right here. I'll just put you on it.
All right, so yeah, I'll check out the north side then.
Okay. All right. So what I want you to do for this attempt to scale the building is, first of all, I didn't know if there are any drugs you want to use before taking any of these actions.
Oh yeah, let me look at the drug list again.
Yep.
I don't know if anything is gonna...
This might be a way that you guys might want to help educate him on some of what, like, handling the stuff on the streets is like.
Yeah, so I mean, mage sight to see the cameras, the perception to help, kind of help also, so both of those are the good ones for this.
Yeah, so an explanation to help with that is, I think there's missing data that I haven't told you. All of the sensors that are on the streets are not visible sensors. They are invisible sensors normally. So in order to see street sensors, you need to have the ability to see magic, and then you can see where the sensors are. It's possible to see them without magic, but it is exceptionally hard to find them without magic.
You'll definitely want to take Mage Sight to try to find a place to climb up where sensors aren't noticing you.
Okay, so
And also to find a place to change.
yeah. And I'm trying to figure out what the other one. 4 hours, no dex AC. Okay, that doesn't apply. But I guess perception bonus, I guess. Nothing else gives dexterity.
Mm-mm.
So I guess I would go for Mage Sight and Vigilance.
Okay. All right. So yeah. So you can drink up your Mage Sight and give me a percept. Are you going to drink both the Mage Sight and the Vigilance at the same time, or are you going to save the Vigilance for when you get in a position?
I'll save the Vigilance till I get in position.
Okay. So what I'm going to need from you now is I am going to need you, when you drink the Mage Sight, to give me a Fortitude save.
One of us.
All right. You are fine.
So I didn't realize that it comes with consequences, or I didn't realize
you can end up addicted.
Okay, I didn't realize that I should have realized that by now.
Hence drugs.
Yeah. Okay, so I don't want to do these too much.
So yeah, you take a deep breath in of your Mage Sight, and your eyes will fill with a much different view of the world around you. Give me a perception check.
Okie dokie.
Ooh.
Oh.
You're looking about the area, trying to get into a few areas, but it looks like this area that you found with a route up the building is without any sort of issue. Nothing seems to be able to see you from this position.
I guess this is an in-world question more. So, is it smarter to change at the bottom of the building or at the top of the building? I don't know the world that much.
So it's kind of gonna depend. If something sees you go up the building, a thought that you could have is that that they're going to wonder what you were doing on top of the building, and if anything happens in an area that happens to be with one of the buildings, somebody might find a person climbing on top of the building in the footage. Think about it like security cam footage, right? Not everybody's not necessarily looking at all security cams at all times. But if somebody goes back through the tapes because something happens in that area, and you're a suspicious figure on the cameras, they're going to come talk to you. There is also a chance that if one of the sensors is being monitored at that time, and you're doing something suspicious, somebody might look into what you're doing at that moment. So anytime that you do something in a cameraed area, I roll a percentile dice on the chance that something might be watching you.
Okay, so I guess I'll change into my costume at the bottom of the building. If there's an alley that I could do it in.
I mean, it seems like it. You didn't see any cameras in the area.
All right, so I'll try to find the best possible spot where I don't think anyone is watching.
Okay. You do so, and can head up the building.
I am the dusk.
Give me either an athletics check or an acrobatics check to leap from one building to the other. That is actually enough to get across the way these buildings are put together. And from there, I need a stealth check from both Greybloom and from Aben.
Stealth.
Excellent. All right, so with that as well, you can give me a perception to look about the area. If you want to add anything to it, now would be the time to do so.
I don't want to get addicted to drugs. Yeah. Maybe I don't want to do the...
I'm taking the perception one.
Okay.
Whatever, I'll take the stupid...
All right, I need a fort save from both of you before the perception check.
Peer pressure.
All right.
Yeah, I only have a +1 fort, so...
I have +2.
Let me look. You both took vigilance, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, y'all got low fort saves.
I don't have this.
They're the dexterous characters.
I had a +6.
All right, so I
I'll
think
tell you what. If I have to roll will, it's just a failure.
I think the easiest way is just for me to add these to your sheet. So
With the +10 bonus you're about to add, or
yeah, the +10 bonus. That's what I just added.
Addicted to.
well, no, I wanted to make sure because I was about to add it right now myself.
Just roll it and we'll add 10 to it. That way it's not an extra thing that has to be.
All right.
I'm adding something.
20.
32.
Ooh. Nice. Very good rolls. So Greybloom, with your stealth, you're able to get in a lot closer than the others were.
Perfect.
And from where Bobbin is at with the vigilance, both of your eyes kind of like focus significantly more on the situation as you close in on it, and as you look from above. So, Bobbin, you're able to being on the roof does give you some advantages. Less people are kind of looking up and keeping an eye on things up there. And so you're able to notice sort of the pattern of the way the guards move. And the guards move in a rather peculiar pattern. They seem to, like, one of them is always stationed next to the door, but periodically he will switch sides of the door that he is standing on. Give me a gauge check as you're watching this.
Jokey.
That's enough to notice a basic pattern. You'll notice that roughly every 5 minutes, he switches from one side of the door, from standing on one side of the door to the other. The other two guards, both will, on a sort of semi-alternating cycle, will walk around the building from a door to the far right of the building, or far left of the building, respectively, and then walk toward the center door, and then go in through the center door, and then a few minutes later come back out those in kind of like a circular motion. Greybloom, you will notice that on the back there are a pair of guards that one of which kind of wanders throughout the carts from time to time. He'll just like make this little path figurating around each of the carts until he comes back up to where the door is. He'll stand there, and then the other guard will go out and take the same walking path, figurating around each of the carts, and then making his way back. And they kind of alternate this path over and over and over
with
again.
No pause.
There's
back the other
no
one
there's a little pause in between each of them. There's about, give me a gauge check to try to identify the length of the pause. Yeah, so here you'll notice it's another like about 5-minute pause between each one's walk. With it was a total of, oh no, you got a total of 20 on that perception. Okay. The other thing that you'll notice, Bobbin, is that from here you can see a bit of the roof, and you will be able to barely notice that there is a latch on the roof, and like a very faint, different pattern in the workings on the roof where that hatch is.
What is? Do I realize what that means?
Give me a disable device check.
Oh, I went to the wrong part of the alphabet.
Yeah. So as you're looking at that, you will realize that that is some sort of like additional ingress. This is the kind of thing that you'll find when you have deliveries that have to be sort of that you need to use like winged animals to bring in and out. Some people call them messenger hatches, or like when you have items that are dangerous to take via the roadways that are like not large in size. You can send like a bird to that hatch and then have somebody open the hatch and get the object from the bird or the note from the bird, and then close it back up. It's not big enough for a regular size person to fit in, but a small size person could probably manage to squeeze in there.
I see.
But yeah, that is the information you get from your night reconnaissance.
Well, I also wanted to look and see if I could spot any cameras around.
Oh, good.
Backside.
Yeah, with a 20. I'm sorry, so there are cameras to be noted in the back. There are none in the front, since you got the 32. But there is one camera in the back in like this center crevice area that's on it. That is like sort of that is probably looking largely at the carts. It seems to have more of a focal angle in the way that it's designed, as opposed to being like the other ones that are kind of looking in a more 360-degree arc.
So it looks like the entire back area is covered with cameras?
No, just the carts. So this is looking straight at the carts.
Okay. Oh, instead of a normal camera, which looks 360
Correct.
degrees.
It's looking
Not that
straight
there
at the
was-
carts.
okay.
Yeah. This looks like
Gotcha.
it's got. It almost looks kind of like somebody has strapped a spyglass on the front of like one of these sensors. Because you're used to seeing the ones that look kind of 360, but this one has like the spyglass specifically like trained on that location.
And like these cameras could I disable them, or are they like they're magical?
They are magical, but they can't. If you have the ability to disarm magical traps, they can. There are ways to disarm them or make them less functional, using your roguish disarmability.
That was also kind of an optional mission we were given in the beginning, was to basically do more research on like cameras and stuff, right? To basically better figure out how most camera systems work in order to get around them better.
That is correct. And you know that you will inevitably get some of that. It will just not be on the same speed track as it would be for if you were doing it primarily as your primary mission. But yeah, effectively, like disabling though is a very difficult thing to do.
Okay, so it's probably not reasonable to try for that.
Probably not this early. But you could always try, and I could always tell you whether or not it's successful.
That's true. Or what's worse, you'll tell us it's successful when it's not successful.
What?
One of those seems like it works.
Seems like it works.
I would never do that. Yeah. So is there anything else you guys want to try to see specifically here?
I found another way into the building. We found the guards' movements. We found some camera locations. I think that's mostly.
Yeah. So for the guards, like, do they have like uniform? Are they from like a specific like guard company? Or...
They are wearing the same outfit that the guard that you met in the building that RJ Fiscal was in was wearing.
Okay, so they're probably from that group.
Yep.
Which would make sense. It's the same district.
So what exactly is our plan?
Yeah, I guess you all meet back up then.
Yeah, I guess we're gonna meet back up then.
But we got one other thing I have to do.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I still
Wait, did you guys scout for a place to change?
Yeah. So in the back there was no cameras except for focusing at the cart.
But that's after we get over the gate or past the gate. Like outside of there. Did you see anywhere to change or no?
No, I did not look in the alleys before that.
You had the mage sight on though, so. Did you see? No.
No, he didn't.
Yeah,
Bobbin
I
did.
Yeah.
Oh.
And Bobbin was a bit away, ways away from where the building actually was.
But was that past the gate? Did he actually was he able to sneak through the gate and get that close?
No, he didn't get like to the point that he could see inside of the area.
Yeah, so that was
Oh,
still
so the
outside
cards
the
were
gate.
outside
So
the gate?
that's just the back of the building that he saw the one camera.
Correct.
Oh, okay. I was imagining like a parking lot with the building, and then the gate was outside of the parking lot.
The gate
Right.
wraps around from the building to the edge of the parking lot. I screwed up on this one and did not get the map put together for this because I didn't know if we would get to this point or not. So, and I made a shitty assumption that we would not. But yeah, the building is like what's pictured there. It's the kind of L shape that's there, and that area that's not in the L shape, like it would be like a full diamond, but there is gate that goes around it instead to wrap up the back like diamond portion of it.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Looks like a square, but the back part of the top part of the square is a
It's like a baseball diamond.
yes.
All right, I think I'm ready to regroup with the crew and discuss our options.
Well, first, so Tassara, you were doing some research during this time. And what is the question you want answered most?
I mean, I guess I'm just trying to figure out any information I can find on the. I guess I should say I'd be focusing on, I don't know, more architectural information on the building or so. And I would like to say anytime I go to the library and I'm researching stuff like this, I'm going to be specifically grabbing like a bunch of alchemy books too, so that if anyone ever came around and was like, I don't know,
Yeah.
looking or questioning, I have like all sorts of alchemy books spread out. But yeah, so I guess I'm focusing on more like any architectural information about
Sure.
the building that we otherwise might not know.
Give me a knowledge engineering check.
Yeah. That's sad.
Well, that's not
Okay.
all you're going to do here. So what I want to know is how many hit points do you have?
Oh no.
18?
Okay, so I am going to I'm going to try implementing a sort of, this is a test drive system for a modification of the research rules that exist in one of the Pathfinder Splat books. The idea here is that you can keep pushing for more information, but it's exhausting to do that. So each time that you want to make another knowledge check, I'm going to roll a d6, and you're going to take that many points of sort of mental damage. When you reach half your hit points, you will gain...
Mental damage or physical damage?
Mental damage.
So is that like...
It's based on your
Intelligence?
No, it's based on your hit points. It would be like, it's like a form of non-lethal damage, but if somebody
Okay.
were to come up and like start punching you in the back of the head, that would be different damage on top of the mental damage.
Okay, when you said mental damage, it just sounds like you're saying like intelligence, like damage or something.
No, I would say intelligence damage.
Okay.
So each time that you're trying, basically, when you get to half your hit points, you are considered to be... I always forget what the stupid step is before exhausted.
Fatigue?
Fatigued. Yeah, you'll gain the fatigued condition. When you reach 1/4 of your hit points, you will gain the exhausted condition.
Sure.
And if you reach 0 hit points, you will pass out from exhaustion.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, I'll give it a try.
So that 14 gets you no information.
Alright.
So you can try, but if you want to try again, I can tell you how much damage you take.
Sure.
Take 5 points of damage and roll me another knowledge check.
Okay, so -5. Non-lethal.
Okay, so you get a little bit of information. Not a lot. Again, it is a stone building. It was set up to be one of the... it's one of the highlights of the constructor's design. Or one of like the most prominent buildings in the architect's design. This particular building was designed with a number of security features that were remarkable at its time and of a non-magical design. But that is all you'll get with an 18. Go again.
Yeah, I'll try one more time.
Hit the button.
Engineering. Oh god.
Good news is, this would be a crit, but you're only taking 2 points of damage.
Alright, I'm not at half yet. This might be okay.
Well, in this particular segment, you're like trying to research things, but somebody keeps like walking over and trying to like see if you have the book that they want, and they keep thinking for certain that you have to have the book they want. So they just keep bugging you like, no, you have it. It's that one right there. And you like keep showing them like the book. And they're like, fine, and then they walk away, but they're like doing that thing where they're like watching you the whole time. And then they'll come back over and they're like, I think it's actually the other book. But eventually they'll stop bothering you when you like show them like, you know, that you just have a bunch of alchemy books in front of you and a couple of like architecture books because you're like passively interested in it.
Alright, when they finally go away and they don't seem like they're gonna bother me anymore, I'll try one last time, I think.
Okay.
Please roll something higher. Okay, that's a little better.
Take another 5 points.
5. Okay, so I would officially be fatigued now is
Yep.
when you're... Okay.
So with that 23, you'll get some of these security protocols that are on the inside. Very, very specifically, there are a number of what are considered to be false rooms and false floors that exist within the building. They are keyly designed in a very specific way as you're going through it. So the false floors, your boots have to have a specific like thing on the inside of them. It is like a magnetic system, and if you walk over it without that, a latch will kind of disengage, and you will fall into a pit. The false door, the like false room system, there are empty rooms that are specifically on the inside, and if you walk into one of these false rooms, the door will lock from the outside, and only someone with the key will be able to come and get you out. Like, no one can just open it naturally. So the door will naturally be unlocked, and you'll be able to go in. But once you go in, the door will close, and you'll be stuck on the inside of the locked room with no, like, handle or anything to get yourself out.
Would there be any notations that if someone was on the outside without the key, could they disable these locks, or does it seem like these would be a very difficult lock to disable without the key?
With what you got on that check, you're not sure the difficulty,
Okay.
but you do know there is a lock. Somebody does come up with a key to unlock the
So
door.
theoretically, you could disable the lock. It just may be more difficult than a standard lock.
Possibly.
Possibly. Okay. Yeah, I think this is all I'm going to do. Because I don't really want to pass out here in the library, so I will take off at this point.
Okay.
And when I do get back to Crest Haven, and I'm with what I know about how my whatever we call these elixirs, whatever the heck they work, I know making them and drinking them myself doesn't ping anything,
Mm-hmm.
but would it be weird? Would I feel like it would be something I would need to do like in very private, or like if I was sitting in our normal booth, would it be like not a big deal for me to be like mixing some up right there and taking them?
It might not be, because people might think you're just like mixing up your drugs, or like that you have some sort of like specific drink that you like or additive to your drink. So you could like take your existing drink and like pour something in it, or like sprinkle some things in it, like you're just kind of seasoning it.
All right, well, I'll bring a few of my alchemy books and tools out as well, so if someone comes over and asks, I'm just fiddling with alchemy research until the rest of my group shows up, and I'm going to cure light wounds myself until
Okay.
I get some of that back.
Yeah.
This
so
doesn't have...
that's our. Oh yeah. Just roll me a d8 plus 2.
Just roll a d8 plus 2.
Yeah, you will heal none of that, because that is not how you heal mental damage. Only through rest can you heal mental damage. You're
Lame.
welcome.
Okay, well, I did not know that. You said it was non-lethal, so I assumed
know.
it would feel the same.
I know.
Cool.
This is how experimentation works.
Great. It's gonna take me forever to heal this.
No. This will heal as soon as you sleep. So if
Okay,
you get
so
8
all
hours
of
of
it
sleep,
heals?
all of it is gone.
Oh, okay. Cool.
However, if you have like if you have specific conditions, like if you get exhausted, the exhausted condition will only change to fatigued for the next day.
But if I only get the fatigued condition, then it's completely gone the next
correct.
Okay, that's fine.
The idea is that the next day you like wake up with a headache from like studying too hard the night before.
Gotcha.
But you can choose to sleep longer and get rid of it if you want to as well. You could choose to sleep for 10 hours, and that will resolve both the fatigue and the exhaustion. Just as an FYI. Yeah, so the 5 of you can meet up to discuss the plans. Or your thoughts, or what you found.
All right, what's the game plan?
Important things is that they have a pretty set pattern. The guards have a pretty set pattern. I had a voice for this, forgot. And on top of the building, there's a small entrance. Do I think that? I'm still learning names. Do I think that Grey Bloom would be able to fit into it?
Grey Bloom could probably squeeze into it. He is small enough.
So that's an avenue we could take if we could get him onto the roof. The guard patterns are pretty set, so if there was some way, forgive me for saying this, and I don't know how you guys would respond to this, but this is the best way I can phrase this suggestion. But if we were to like somehow like use some kind of like chloroform equivalent, we could like sedate one of the guards and try to like take their place in the rotation.
Where do we keep the body?
We could attempt to store it in an alley. We could put it in some kind of maybe like a dumpster or something.
Well, Dragomir did say if at all possible we should avoid any type of contact.
That is true.
Like ideally, we don't want them to know that anybody was here.
Right. That's my. That would be like a backup. I don't know if there's any. I don't believe that there's enough of a room that we could get through the guard rotation that we could get in. Based on what I would describe to them.
On each side of the building?
So the guards in the back were doing a figure 8 formation around the carts. And there was a camera on the cart, but the area around the carts, besides what the guards could see, is... And there was a 5-minute pause or so between guard movements.
Yeah, the guard goes from like the left of the gate to the right of the gate and back and forth.
So I think one of the things I missed here is, other than the door on the roof, that he saw, which was the small little thing for like a messenger bird or something, where were the other doors that were noticeable?
There is a door on the east, a door on the west, and a door on the south, and the main door for the carts to go in and out of.
Okay, so we don't want to bother with the main door at the carts because obviously that has the camera and there are guards doing figure eights around that, so that's out. So there was a door, sorry, you said east, west, and south?
West and south. To help you guys out, let's do this. Let's bring you guys over to a sort of whiteboard for you. And I can draw a little bit of a picture here. Help. Got 2 rectangle boys. So these are the building. If we put them in consummate V fashion.
Consummate V.
Consummate. Oh, just like a resistance, V for vendetta. A little bit wider, because it would be a little bit wider. But yeah, so this is basically the building shape. And so there are doors that are here, here, and here. This is like a double door thing where this is actually supposed to be like flatted out. There's no like tip to this. And then the back gate, the back entrance is here. And then there is we'll do the fence in something more iron in color.
So the top is the south end?
Hang on. Yeah, the top is the south end. Or no, the top is the north end. Sorry. Hold on.
Okay.
I'll label things on in terms of direction. I'm just really annoyed that I started putting the fence in and the fence doesn't tip out right. Here to here, really crude. And then the gate to come in is here because there is also a road that comes in basically straight off of it. Black on black does not work.
So they crash the carts into the gate a lot.
No. So yeah, there's a road that kind of connects in because the road goes straight across here. And there's also a road that kind of comes down. So it looks like they probably would always take the straight route to kind of pull the cart in so they don't have to make any turns and worry about crashing. And then this area here, it doesn't look like they store the carts in this. The carts are all parked out here. This is probably they bring the cart in when it needs repairs or whatnot.
Can you draw in where the carts are parked, where they're doing the figure eights and stuff?
Yeah, so all the carts are out here. Are out here. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, boop. So there's just carts parked out here. And there is like technically a small, thin, like sort of platform that goes around the outer edge. Like this, that the guards will kind of walk up and down.
Okay.
And what were the guard patrols like on the other side of the building?
Yeah, so why are some of my doors moving? Am I losing my mind? Somebody move my doors?
We can't move your shapes.
I didn't think so,
Yeah.
but one of the doors just like jumped all the way up to the top of the thing.
I think when you tried to highlight everything, you missed it.
Okay. I missed nothing. I'm perfect. Oh, the guard paths. So the guard paths that you had learned about, a guard comes out from here periodically. Oh, let me do that in a different color. Let's make these blue. So a guard comes out of this door, comes around and goes back in. And then a different guard on an opposite rotation will come around this way and then go back in.
But there's
but
always
not
someone
intended.
at the front.
But there's always one person at the front. And he will switch sides in between their rotations.
Okay. So I guess
feel like our best bet is to wait till he switches aside, the guard goes in the door, and then try to stealth and sneak in behind them. And
Guard's not to scale.
we could
So
also
there's a-
attempt to go in one of
One-
these two places when the guard is not there. Yeah, like that way.
yeah, that's literally what I was saying.
sorry.
Is we
Oh, yeah,
wait
okay.
until my color is black. But so the guard that stands down at the very south, we wait until he's like, say, on the right side. We're ready by the left door. Wait till the other guard like comes. So I guess they come out. and
Let me
go
make this
around.
easier for you. Easier with the whiteboarding thing on you.
Yeah, I
Um,
know. My color is black. It's terrible.
I don't like doing it super bright, so hopefully this will help.
Yeah.
The pentagram.
It's a pentagram with a butt.
Your butt.
Do we have any approximation of how long it takes them to make this walk?
About 5 minutes.
Okay, so yeah, so if we wait until this guard right here, like, moves to this side, right? And this guard just emerges, and we sort of sneak in as he emerges, then we know we have approximately 5 minutes to look around this area before he's going to walk back in.
Yeah, that tracks with what I was thinking.
And I mean, theoretically, we should be able to, if we split up, look around pretty quickly. We're just literally looking for names of employees. As soon as we find what looks like names of employees, either on, I don't know, paperwork, files, uniforms, cubbies, who the hell knows, whatever they have that has names on them, we write down a bunch of their names, and then we just dip out the same door we came in if we can get that information in the 5-minute window we have before the guard comes back in. And if we can't, we should probably, and we don't see anything in that area, we should probably dip back out before that 5 minutes and the guard comes back in and try to make our way over to the other side and do the same sort of thing in the other side. Unless we feel like, does this all, I mean, I guess we have no idea if this all connects, but if it only takes us a minute or two to look through here, I don't know though if these people are out at the same times, so that might not be.
They are not at the. So the one thing you know is the alternation is this guy is switching sides when somebody is coming out the other door.
Okay, so as soon as the person comes out this door, this guard then switches to this side, right? Because
Correct.
it means
This guard would go over here.
this dude would be inside.
Correct.
Yeah, so it's like we wait until this dude comes out. That means this guard will move. We dip in real quick. We have 5 minutes to look around in here. If we can't find anything in 5 minutes, then we get back out. And if we didn't find what we need, then we need to figure out a way to stealth around basically to like this corner and do the same sort of method on this side.
Other option in theory is if this wall is scalable, then we could have Greybloom try to climb it and then try to go into the hatch designed for the messenger animals.
How tall is the building?
The building is about the same size as the fence, so about 10 feet tall.
Oh,
So that's not unreasonable. If we had
just
like a grapple.
My only worry about doing that method is we don't know what's inside this building, if there's potentially, I don't know, guards or something stationed on the inside that literally never come out. And if we send one person in by themselves and they run across that, they're by themselves. That's my only fear there.
Yeah, I feel like that it's probably smarter to do the first option. I just wanted to present something else that we could do.
Yeah, it just also then means that there's only one person searching around for the information instead of potentially 5 of us searching around for information, where we could find information much faster if there's 5 people looking versus 1 person looking. It's much more feasible that we find names we need in like a minute or two if we have 5 people all looking in kind of separate areas ish, versus 1 person having to. Plus, then if they accidentally go in one of those like false rooms and get them self-stuck in a false room, then like no one knows, and we're waiting outside and they never reemerge, and we're like, what happened?
Right, that's true. So we would be able to know. Just in case there is guards, I think we should try and bring some kind of sedating agent, just in case we have to like
until they're knocked out.
Yeah, just so we can knock someone out. So that would, I mean, that's going to be like the minimum contact that we need to like create the least amount of noise. They'll notice that the person has been knocked out in the morning, but at least they won't know through the duration of what we're doing.
The only problem is I'm sure if there was someone inside and they catch sight of us, their initial thing is going to start making a lot of noise and yelling for their buddies to come in. So it would be someone would have to sedate him super fast. The problem with this scenario is there's there's so many guards about that if we alert 1 person to our presence, everyone's going to be alerted in probably a single round.
Yeah, that's why I want to try and go in the building and only like we only sedate someone if like before they're about to notice us, unless there's just a ton of people in this area.
Yeah, I mean, definitely if like we see someone and someone is able to stealth up on him and catch him completely by surprise and sedate him before he has a chance to even like say anything, that would be neat. But then that also depends, do we have, or does the resistance have access to anything that can even do that? Like
that's
just
true.
Sedate and incapacitate someone in 1 round, because that's a big if they have something of that.
Well, that would be only a backup. We don't. That's not like part of the.
They will let you know that if you do ask about it, or like they'll probably overhear you since you're what you're discussing, one way or another. You'll know that there is access to a substance called Sweet Dream. But if you're going to be using that, you have to tell them ahead of time, so they can mix it up. Well, I guess they'd have you mix it up. And it's going to affect resource availability for the next leg of your mission. So sort of think of things in this way. You have a limited amount of sort of resource allocation that's available to you, and any resources you use on one mission might affect the resources you get for the next mission.
So I guess
what does it do?
Sweet Dream will put someone to sleep within 1 round of having it applied to them, and they will forget the events of the last few seconds of what happened to them.
That's very good.
And I do have the using poison skill.
Okay.
Because I'm a ninja.
Yep.
So if that's the case, I would rather save it for the second half of the mission.
How long would it take to mix that up?
It would take about a full day to mix that up.
Oh, so I would have to like mix it up way in advance. Okay. Yeah. I wasn't sure if it was something where we could bring the stuff with us, and if we found like we actually needed it to mix it up, like, and then use it. I didn't realize it would take that long.
If you fail, by the way, you fall asleep for up to 4 hours.
Fun. What's the DC on mixing that?
I don't remember. Because it's a poison, so a lot of it is like working with it more specifically. Gotcha. The co-materials are there of where the stuff comes from, but it's not specifically from, because it doesn't say what it's actually directly from that I can find here. Hold on. Show not. Yeah, so I assume this is the kind of thing where there's a couple of different components that you fit together.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because it also says it's a drug. It's weird. It says it's a poison and a drug at the same time. So, cool.
Okay.
So the question is, do we want to use it on because if we're resource limited, are we going to want to use it on this part of the mission, or potentially the part of the mission where we're like
Well, one key is if you don't use it during this mission, you'll have it for the next mission, technically. Anything that you acquire, you'll have for later on. But like any other resource, it will mean that you won't get other resources that you might otherwise be getting that might be available. So you're sort of choosing the option of picking options now that will come away from the rewards you get afterwards. So imagine this like you're sort of pre-buying your loot.
I see.
Well, also, like, so if we were to get it for the mission, it takes a full minute to apply poisons, so it would be gone. We'd have to use it.
Yep.
Before, like, we actually got into combat.
So I don't know if it's
well,
gonna be
this is an inhaled poison. So it in this particular case, it's not the kind of thing that would take a minute. It's the kind of thing where someone would have to get it on the person's face. So you'd have to grab them, you'd have to get them to breathe it.
AKA, like...
It's literally like chloroform.
Chloroform.
Yeah, it'd be like Grey Bloom has, like, a cloth and the poison, and if we see a situation where it's needed, he throws the poison, like, onto the cloth, sneaks up to them, and, like, covers their mouth with it.
Correct.
I mean, I wouldn't have to make, like, grapple checks or anything like that, would I?
So in this case, I would rule that if you catch them unaware, you don't need to make a grapple check. Because you can just come... Well, I would make it a CMB check. If you can beat a CMB versus them, you can put your hand on their face. But it would be at... Obviously, it would be a sneak attack.
I will say they'd be flat-footed, right? Or something
They would be
like that.
flat-footed, yep.
Yeah, I mean, my CMB is +0, so we don't want this.
Okay.
I won't be able to use it.
I have 2 CMB.
Well, the issue is that I'm the only one with
Oh,
use
right.
poison.
Oh,
I'm
that's
the only
true, right.
one.
Yep.
Everyone else is risking using it on themselves.
Yep. You could
Then I guess
accidentally breathe it in and pass out on the ground.
I guess then we probably won't take that route and just hope that we just have to hope.
I think we should expect to have to knock a guard out. I think we're going to have to knock someone out in this.
So, can I get an insight? I don't want to give this away for free, so if anybody's got ranks in insight, give me an insight.
I don't.
Okay. Nope.
My rolls love me today. That's fun.
This
Yeah,
app
been a
is
bad
evil
seed.
today.
Y'all should have logged in between. Uppers has got a lot to say tonight.
He got excited because his person just walked back in the room.
But yeah, let's do this. So you guys have got a lot of information, and I know last time this helped out a lot when we did it, and I want to kind of keep up this pattern. So you guys have got a lot of good ideas going, a lot of good momentum. So an extended break, and we come back to this next week and see what kind of stuff is formulated with a bit of time to let it kind of brew and come back at it with clear heads, and then potentially see if you can take care of things.
Maybe my brain won't be exhausted from playing too many video games.
So let's hand out some XP though. A lot of good research this session, and some good role play. So everybody, go ahead and take home 800 experience.
I'm trying to find where that is.
Damn.
On the configuration tab on this one.
Okay.
200 shy of a level.
Seriously?
Yeah, we got a lot of XP for that game we played.
Yeah.
You gave us a lot of XP.
Well, I mean,
for
because
it.
I gave you the defeat of those characters equivalently.
Yeah. So yeah, we're now 200 away from leveling.
What experience, or Steve? What should I have?
Oh yeah, can everybody give him what the current XP should be?
4,800 out of 5,000.
Yeah, everybody's on the same XP track.
Okay, 5,000.
So you guys are 200 away.
Yeah.
Give it to us.
Yeah, well, I feel like if I don't give it to you, you're just gonna stall next session for the extra,
Yeah,
300.
maybe.
So yeah, you guys will probably rest the night in between. So go ahead, let's go ahead and push you guys up. Go ahead and take the 200 XP.
Sweet.
Hell yeah.
Oh, got him. We're leaving right this moment.
Well, I'm not running right this moment, so
Got no risk. down.
Generous God.
Next level.
The gods give it and the gods take
What's
it.
after 5,000?
9, I think. Shit, hold on.
And you said you always want us to roll hit points at the beginning of the session?
I always want you to roll hit points at the beginning of the session, so there's no room for confusion.
9,000.
And in case somebody is like on the fence about multi-classing, they can make the decision there. Yep.
But like all
9,000.
the other leveling up stuff I'm gonna do next week.
You can do it throughout the week from between now,
sure.
but it should be done before then. The only thing that will wait is the HPs.
Okay. I don't think much changes. So I put like the level in, so rogue level 3.
Yep.
You should get a feat.
But I'm gonna wrap up the stream. So thank you all for watching. Good night.
GG.